situation in which Black Beryl, this woman is her legitimate grandmother, okay? And by the way, I want to say, just keeping up, looking at this Beryl, she in no way favors Donald Harris. Let's get a side-by-side of Beryl and Donald Harris. Like, what are we even speaking about? If you put this together, how are you getting Beryl from this woman and Oscar Harris? I don't see it. Now, again, genes can be funny, but then when you put him next to our white Iris, I go, okay, look at those squinty eyes here. I could see a little bit of a similarity here. He does seem to somewhat favor her. Again, now we're just believing our own eyes and asking the right questions. What we do know for a fact is that woman on the right, Iris Harris, is related to Kamala Harris, and we need answers, okay? We need answers.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, a very direct question.
Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a Black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She is always identified as a Black woman. She went to a historically Black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a Black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that she is...
I think somebody should look into that, too, when you ask, continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans have said?
I really don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Could be.
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a Native Black American and a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
I am not a slave, I was born to slide, I am not afraid. Hop about the K, oh yeah, free to God, they went out of state. I'm a child of God, I do not belong to the United States. Fuck Black history, tell Uncle Sam he can catch a fade. I went to hell, I mean school, graduated at the top of my class. Still never thought I was over my peers. We did that time together 12 years. Ain't that some movie? I think that it is. They won't control me, I'm really a member. I traveled that road, I came back with the jewels from. When I pull up, they pee how the roof gone. We some dog killers, won't chew bones. Know we all spit on, we supreme. Somewhere I read a nigga had a dream.
You don't have to try to be something you're not. God, I can't stand this. Trying to be something I'm not? Trying to be proud of my African heritage? If that's being something I'm not, then fine.
My grandmother was a full-blooded Iroquois. My grandfather was a Black from a long line of journeymen who lived in Connecticut since the establishment of the colonies. My father was a Bajan who came to this country a cabin boy in a merchant marina.
I know all of that, Mama.
Then know this. I am alive because of the blood of a people who never scraped or begged or apologized for what they were. They asked only one thing of this world: to be allowed to be. I gave you my grandmother's name, a woman who bore 9 children and educated them all. Who held off 6 white men with a shotgun when they tried to drag one of her sons off to jail for not knowing his place. And you had to reach into an African dictionary to find a name that would make you proud.
I was born black, I live black, and I'm gonna die probably because some cracker that knows I'm black better than you, nigga, is probably gonna put a bullet in the back of my head.
This is the remix. My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American. Making music would've thought I had help, but the Indians I know wanna be the chief they self.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, smash the like button on the way in. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the program. Hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you support the mission, and let's get on with the content. Just like Leonard says, the Kamami files continue. We're going to go ahead and take a look at her recent audio-only interaction with Charlamagne the God. I think we're going to hear some pandering and some cosplaying. Jesse's coming through with the spoilers. Jesse says that interview was an epic fail. Well, hey, it's my first time watching it. If it's your guys' first time watching it, put a 1 in the chat. Let's go ahead and see what Obama-la Scamala Kamala had to say to try to sway that black vote. Oh, Lord, these politicians can't do nothing without that black vote, can they?
What I stand for and the issues that I think are at stake in this election. And so it requires repetition. You know, some people say that until someone has heard the same thing at least 3 times, it just doesn't stay with you. So repetition is important. And for that reason, yes, at my rallies, I say the same thing when I go to Detroit as I do in Philly, as I do wherever I am, to make sure that people hear and receive what I think are some of the most critical issues that are at stake in this election.
There has to be a high level of anxiety, too, when you have these conversations, though, because you are running for president.
I mean, you know what? There's certainly a lot of, I feel the weight of the moment and my role. I feel an extraordinary weight of responsibility right now to do everything I can. I'm telling you, Charlamagne, when I go to bed at night, I almost every night, in addition to my prayers, will ask, have I done everything I could do today?
Oh, good Lord. The pandering is starting early. You know, as soon as I'm done washing those collard greens in the bathtub, and as soon as I put the pot of gumbo away, and after I'm done playing a game of spades and a round of dominoes, well, you know, I kneel down and I pray to Black Jesus, wink, wink. And then I ask the Lord, today, did I do everything that I could have done? Come on, Kamala, we don't believe you. I got to run that back, though. That was a good story. That was a pretty good story there.
Do everything I can. I'm telling you, Charlamagne, when I go to bed at night, I almost every night, in addition to my prayers, will ask, have I done everything I could do today?
I wonder if you know that I know he's lying right now.
Of era race. It's tight. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. But it's tight. And, you know, what is at stake?
Ew, the pandering. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. She thinks that's how we speak.
It is truly profound. And I think is I almost every night, in addition to my prayers, will ask, have I done everything I could do today? This is a margin of error race. It's tight. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. But it's tight. And, you know, what is at stake is truly profound and almost and historic, many would say. And it's about, you know, some people would say this lofty notion of supporting and preserving our democracy. But it is about real issues that affect people every day, like whether we're going to maintain a $35 cap on insulin for our seniors, whether we're going to continue to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices to bring them down, whether we are going to have, as my opponent would have, a formalized stop and frisk policy, for which he has said if a police department does not do it, they should be defunded, or not. There is so much at stake, whether America is going to stand on its principles around the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity and stand with our allies around the world, or whether we're going to admire dictators. And
how about whether you're going to keep allowing migrant rapists to walk through our border and assault our citizens?
send during the height of COVID in the pandemic, COVID tests that nobody could get to the president of Russia for his personal use when black people were dying every day by the hundreds during that time.
Yeah, I feel like that one.
Oh, here she goes with the pandering. Black folks was dying during COVID and Trump didn't do nothing. Okay. Black folks is dying right now at the hands of these migrants and y'all just letting them in.
That one has gone over people's heads. The fact that he was sending COVID tests to Putin.
I mean, you know, I invite, your listeners, the people we know, the number of people who lost their grandparents and parents. Remember what that was like during the height of COVID? And a lot of it, people were scrambling for the resources and needed tests. And Donald Trump, during that time, secretly sent COVID tests to the president of Russia, who, by the way, do not forget, in the 2016 election, because I was a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee when we investigated it, targeted black voters in 2016 with mis and disinformation.
Oh, just like how you're targeting black voters with misinformation about your family heritage? You mean that kind of misinformation? Oh, you mean like how you target black voters by lying and saying you used to wash so many collard greens?
Make a mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub.
Collard greens in a bathtub, an image that cheap and classless. You keep repeating the same old plantation bullshit, tired narrative we outgrew. Jokes on you.
Urge black people from voting in that election. And this is just another of the very many examples of who Donald Trump really is and the danger he presents to real people.
Sending COVID tests to Russia, that doesn't sound very America first at all. But it's not just you versus Trump, it's you versus misinformation.
Yes, that's true.
Right? And one of the biggest pieces of misinformation, one of the biggest allegations against you is that you targeted and locked up thousands of black men in San Francisco for weed. Some say you did it to boost your career. Some say you did it out of pure hate for black men. Please tell us the facts. What's the facts of that situation?
Look at how Charlamagne the Fraud has controlled opposition. It's not that she locked up a bunch of black men for weed. It's that she went after and prosecuted black families for truancy on top of persecuting folks in San Francisco for minor amounts of weed. So get it straight, Charlamagne. Get it straight.
I intend to fight for Black Lives Matters. I intend to fight.
If Black Lives matter to her, why didn't I matter?
I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom. And I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
My message to all Americans, especially Black Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
Not true. And what public defenders who are around those days will tell you, I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on.
Yeah, guys, she was so progressive. Let's see how progressive she was in California.
Because you walked all the way down here and I wasn't expecting you to walk.
My daughter, Shayla, suffers from sickle cell anemia, a chronic, painful genetic disease.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick.
It's a very sharp stabbing pain and it hurts a whole lot. Like from my chest all the way down, it hurts, including my side.
So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for
cases and would not send people to jail for simple possession of weed. And as vice president.
Wait a minute. We supposed to believe that she would not send folks to jail for possession of weed, but we know for a fact she was sending Black families to jail over missing some school days.
Kamala Harris was the California Attorney General. She had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I spent a majority of my time here at the hospital.
Kamala's horrible policies hurt mothers like me and the Black community. My name is Sheree Peoples, and this is my...
And for bringing marijuana down on the schedule. So instead of it being ranked up there with heroin, we bring it down. And my pledge is as president.
Ma'am, you've already been vice president. Marijuana is still a Schedule I drug. What are you talking about?
I will work on decriminalizing it because I know exactly how those laws have been used to disproportionately impact certain populations and specifically Black men.
I love when you lying like that, girl, so I'ma keep lying like that, I love when you lying like that, so I'ma keep lying like that.
Before we get into the talkback feature and take some questions from the audience, I do want to talk to you about the legalization of weed, because you're saying you want to legalize it now. What steps did the Biden administration take to get closer to that reality?
So we had to work with the DEA, and there's a certain level of bureaucracy that exists in the federal government that slows things down, but essentially to bring down how weed is classified, how marijuana is classified.
And now she's giving us word salad. He specifically asked you what you and the Biden administration have done to decriminalize weed. She's talking about, we kind of look at how bringing down the classification. What are you doing? What tangible steps?
Make it classified as a lesser harm.
Mm-hmm.
And so that took some time. There's a whole process around that, but that's the work that we have done. In addition,
that's nothing. It's going to take some time, but that's the work that we've done. We're looking into how to lower the penalty. No. Did you send a bill to Congress? Did you do any studies or think tanks on how you can reschedule it from a Schedule I narcotic to a lower rating? Look at the word salad.
To work that we have done writ large on criminal justice reform.
Okay. Let's take some calls. Let's take some, not calls. Let's go to the talkback feature.
My question for Kamala.
Yeah, damn right. He said calls, and he was like, no, we know damn well that we ain't going to give her no unfiltered, real, raw interaction with the people. We've got to curate some questions for her, okay? I guess they call this a talkback feature. Typically on the radio, you just call into the radio. But remember, Kamala doesn't do videos that are live. The interviews have to be pre-recorded. She has to have the questions ahead of time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Is why are we, and I say we because my tax dollars is sending the money, why are we sending money to other countries when we desperately need it in our own country for homeless, housing, resources, for whatever? That is my determining factor if I vote for Kamala or not.
That's one of the reasons the America First rhetoric resonates, because nobody in America would complain about where money was going if American citizens' everyday needs were being met. So what do you say to that?
We can do it all, and we do. So first of all, I maintain very strongly America should never pull ourselves away from our responsibility as a world leader. And that is in the best interest of our national security and each one of us as Americans and our standing in the world. To American citizens, obviously, and people who are here to meet their everyday needs and challenges, which is why, for example, we have done the work in the last 4 years of bringing down the cost of prescription medication, whether it be $35 a month for seniors for insulin or $2,000 a year cap on prescription medication.
Guys, most can't see through the word salad fuckery, the Jedi mind trick she's attempting. Ma'am, the question that was raised is, why are we sending so much money overseas to help other countries. And you talking about, oh, well, actually, we could do it all. Don't you know that this one medication got lowered a little bit over 4 years? Ma'am, I bet you whatever savings American citizens got from that prescription drug price being reduced, I bet you we've spent 1 billion times more than that in aid to other countries. It's not like it's an equal exchange. It's not like, oh yeah, the billions we've sent to Israel and Ukraine is commensurate with the reduction in prescription pills. No. She's trying to act like she's really done something. She's acting like because your grandma got 10 cents off her prescription medication, it's cool for us to send billions to Ukraine and Israel.
What we have done that has been about putting $17 billion in our HBCUs. I am proud to be the first HBCU vice president of the United States. I intend to be the first HBCU president of the United States. Those resources are about sending them to centers of academic excellence that I know them to be. The work that I continue to do is about increasing access to capital for our small businesses. It is about increasing the opportunity for home ownership, knowing that Black people are 40% less likely to be homeowners in America. We have a history of legal and...
Bitch, who is we? Are you French? Because these photos we looking like... these photos we looking at, I'm not seeing no one that looks like a Black person. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Kamala. Miss me with that we.
And procedural obstacles to that home ownership, starting with the fact nobody got 40 acres and a mule, to redlining, to issues that this Detroit area and people around the country know to be real. So part of my plan is that we're going to give people a $25,000 down payment assistance to get their foot in the door.
Oh, yeah, that's going to right the wrong of not getting reparations, guys. She's going to give us a $25,000 tax credit. 40 acres and a mule in 2024 terminology translates to a $25,000 tax credit if we want to buy a house, says Kamala.
To buy a home for first-time home buyers. The work that I'm going to do to increase housing supply in America, knowing that that's one of the reasons that rents and housing prices are jacked up. And to work with the private sector, cut through the red tape, and work to build more housing, 3 million before the end of my first term. And I give these examples, and there are many more which I will offer. So, for example, the work that I will do to extend the child tax credit to $6,000 for young families during the first year of their child's life. Because as you and I both know, our families all have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources. Mm-hmm. So by expanding the child tax credit to the first year of a child's life to $6,000, that gives that young family the ability to buy a car seat or a crib or clothes, the things that are so important during that critical phase.
Oh, yes. Just imagine it, guys. Us young parents are going to be like, damn, I can't afford a car seat or a crib for my baby. If only Kamala Harris was president. Yeah, guys, if only Kamala Harris was president, my baby can sleep in a crib instead of sleeping in my bed. If only Kamala was our commander in chief.
Phase of that child's development, so that they can get on the road and actually have a chance at succeeding.
You said we can do it all, but can we? Because, Tupac famously said, we got money for war, but can't feed the poor, right? And I saw President Obama say last week that, you really shouldn't expect, a president to rid the world of all of its problems. And so is it fair to tell people, hey, we can do it all? Because that's when people get disappointed, when things don't happen.
But I think President Obama is absolutely correct, but it doesn't mean we can't do anything.
That's right.
So when I talk about extending the child tax credit, when I was vice president, I pushed that we would do it during our first year. And we reduced Black child poverty in America by 50%. We did that. Mm-hmm. We can do that. My plan that is about building up home ownership in the Black community. We can do.
I would love to see that study that says that she lowered Black child poverty, whatever lies she just said. I would love to see the report.
Do that. My work that has been about increasing access to capital, bringing billions more dollars into our community banks, which I've done as vice president through cooperation and partnership with some of the big banks and tech companies to get more access to capital for our entrepreneurs, for our businesses. We've done that. So we should never sit back and say, okay, I'm not going to vote because everything hasn't been solved. I share a desire that everything should be solved, by the way. Mm-hmm. I think it is what we should all want. But that that shouldn't stand in the way of us also knowing we can participate in a process that's about improving things. And by voting in this election, you have two choices, or you don't vote, but you have two choices if you do.
Look at how they're trying to pigeonhole us and fearmonger us into following their Hegelian dialect of problem, solution, only give them two options and the illusion of choice. I will vote for the couch. And if I don't feel like voting for the couch, I'm not going to be shamed into not voting for Donald Trump. Come on. If you're a black person and you even speak about voting Republican, God damn it, they try to shame you. And how could you? Don't you know that Donald Trump is basically like Monsieur Candy in the Django? How dare you pledge your allegiance to Monsieur Candy?
And it's two very different visions for our nation. One mind that is about taking us forward and progress and investing in the American people, investing in their ambitions, dealing with their challenges. And the other, Donald Trump.
And yes, thank you, Braxton. In my state of California, she was doing that wicked shit, telling parents if they don't get their babies vaccinated, they're gonna get put in jail, get fined. She was part of the legislators that were giving corporations the ability to fire people if they refuse to take the vaccine. So, yeah, Kamala does not have a clean track record. Not at all. The best thing she did successfully was her affair with whatever mayor that was. What was it, a Chicago mayor or a San Francisco mayor? Help me out, chat. She was a good side piece to Montel Williams as well. She was a good side piece to a couple of powerful brothers back in the day. Other than that, what have you done for me lately?
Trump is about taking us backward.
The other is about fascism. Why can't we just say it?
Yes, we can say that.
Yeah. Reverend Solomon Kinlock Jr., I want you to meet him. He is the senior pastor of Triumph Church. Where's Reverend Kinlock?
Oh, he's here.
Come on, tell Secret Service, move out the way. It's okay. It's just the Reverend. Yeah, all right.
Hey, Reverend.
What's up, Reverend?
Madam Vice President Charlamagne,
Yes,
thank
sir.
y'all for being in Detroit tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, man, the cooning is about to reach an all-time high. Whenever... I'm going to hold my tongue. Mike TV does not endorse hate speech of any kind. Viewer discretion is advised. I love everybody, but goddamn it, when two Sambos get in the room, you know they about to start jiving.
Recently, Madam Vice President, by one of Trump's surrogates from the Black faith-based community, you've been criticized by him and others for your lack of engagement to the Black church. Knowing that the Black church is an unrivaled place in the heart of Black people, what could you...
Lies. What the fuck you mean the Black church has an unrivaled place in our heart? Most young Black Americans don't fuck with the Black church. We don't care about your boule ass church that's been keeping people in a perpetual state of stasis. What the fuck has the Black church done for us lately? Hey, they get that money for the pastor to drive a Bentley. They get that money to fix that roof that always needs fixing. But what has the Black church actually done for the community by and large?
Speak to as it relates to a future Harris administration, how you would partner with the Black church to address some of the urgent needs of the Black community. Dr. King talked about the fierce urgency of right now, and as a church, Triumph Church is in that place.
So first of all, that allegation, of course, is coming from the Trump team, because they are full of mis and disinformation, because they are trying to disconnect me from the people I have worked with and that I am from, so that they can try and have some advantage in this election, because otherwise they have nothing to run on. I grew up in the Black church. I grew up attending.
You grew up raised by a Hindu woman in Canada. What Black church did you go to in Canada? What are you talking about? Most of you don't even know she was raised in Canada until it was time to go to college. So she came to America to a HBCU. So what Black church in Canada was this young Hindu girl going to? God damn it. I think that would make the news. I think if a Black church had a young Hindu girl up in that bitch, I think word would travel. Come on.
3rd Avenue Church of God in Oakland, California.
That's church.
Yes, that is church. My pastor is Amos C. Brown of Third Baptist Church in San Francisco, California.
Yes.
I have throughout my career and as vice president and recently been actively engaged in the church and church leaders, not only so we can share in fellowship, but so we can share in what we can do together that is about supporting the community, the strength of the community, the cohesion of the community. And it is my long-standing work and therefore my pledge going forward. I will always work closely with the church because I understand who our church leaders are and who the congregation is. We are talking about...
You do not understand Black people nor Black issues. You bourgeoisie, descendant of Hindu, Irish slave master immigrants from Jamaica. Stop it. Stop it. Stop.
People who are driven by faith and the ability to see what is possible by faith, where I was raised, and I know many of us were, understanding that our God is a loving God, that our faith propels us to act in a way that is about kindness and justice and mercy, that is about lifting one another up. And let's talk about the contrast here. Donald Trump and his followers spend full time trying to suggest that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, which is absolutely contrary to the church I know.
And yes, Stogie, she just did the podcast with the basketball players. Now she's with Charlamagne. I guess next she's gonna go on Gilly and Wallow. Then she's gonna go on Drink Champs with Nori. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Then she's going to see Joe Budden. Anything to get in good with the Blacks.
He sells Bibles, though.
Where our church and my church is about saying true leadership, the measure of that is based on who you lift up. And right. And then he's selling $60 Bibles or tennis shoes and trying to play people as though that makes him more understanding of the Black community. Come on.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you for the correction.
Thank you, Reverend.
And God is good.
Every day, all the time.
There you go. I had to make sure you get that right. Now,
Wow, she couldn't even say that shit with a straight face. Every time she goes extreme with the pandering and says some super Black shit that she knows she has no business saying, she does that nervous chuckle like, oh shit, are they gonna buy that? She said, oh, every day, all the time. Is that the right way you say that? I think it is.
Makes him more understanding of the Black community. Come on.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you for the correction.
Thank you, Reverend.
And God is good.
Every day, all the time.
There you go. I had to make sure you get that right. Now, have you seen the clip, Madam Vice President, from the griot? It's a clip that's kind of out of context, and it says that you won't do anything specifically for Black people. Have you?
Oh, yes, it's out of context. It's not out of context. She said it.
People? No. I'm not going to say.
You support reparations for Black people.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
No, but let Charlamagne tell us. Somehow there's some context that we're missing. And if we get the context that is lost, then maybe what she said will sound better. Let Charlamagne Boulay, the fraud, tell it. Okay. All right.
I've not seen that.
Well, it's a clip that has you saying that you're not going to do anything specifically for Black people.
Well, that's just not true. And listen, again, you said it at the beginning of this visit, Charlamagne. One of the biggest challenges that I face is mis and disinformation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's purposeful because it is meant to convince people that they somehow should not believe that the work that I have done has occurred and has meaning. My work from the beginning of my career through today has been about, for example, we've talked about it, whether it be on HBCUs, whether it be on healthcare, Black maternal mortality. I am singularly, many would say, one of the highest level leaders in our country to bring the issue of Black maternal mortality to the stage of the White House to address it. The work that I've done that has been about focusing on my knowledge and my experience and my life experience of knowing the entrepreneurship that we have in the community, the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams, and then tapping into that so that not only has my work been about ensuring that we have some of the lowest Black unemployment ever in our country, but that also knowing that that should be a baseline that everybody has a job. Mm-hmm. And what we should be invested in is also building wealth in the community and intergenerational wealth. And I have many, many examples of that.
To know Mike is the real deal. His information is real. He's a humble brother, and he's all about the information. He's not about, personal gain or personal applause, personal credit. This is about our nation. It's not about one individual, but it's about us collectively as a people. And Mike is all about that, So we stand behind the brother 100%.
If you have any doubt, get it out your head immediately. So yeah, I'm going to continue to work with Mike as much as I can. So I want to say thank you, Mike, for actually taking the time out and talk with me and my husband. You definitely informed us on a lot of things. And the people out there that's watching, he will also inform you on a lot of things that you may not even know about. So I want to say thank you again.
Part of the challenge that I face is that they are trying to scare people away because they know they otherwise have nothing to run on. Ask Donald Trump what his plan is for Black America. Ask him. I'll tell you what it is.
Why don't you answer that question first? What's your plan for Black America, Kamala? And don't say nothing about a tax credit for homeowners.
Look at Project 2025. Project 2025 tells you the plan includes making police departments have stop and frisk policies. The plan includes making it more difficult for workers to receive overtime pay. The plan includes ending the ability of Medicare to negotiate drug prices. You know what we have done? He said he would. We did, which means that's how we brought down the cost of prescription medication. His plan includes making it more difficult for working people to get by and to destroy our democracy. You know what he says he'll do? Terminate the Constitution of the United States.
That's right.
Let me remind folks, you know what's in the
Yeah, can we get a fact check on that? I've never heard Donald Trump once say, quote, I want to terminate the Constitution of the United States. I mean, and this broad is the one claiming that people are using misinformation against her. Okay, Kamala.
Constitution of the United States, the Fourth Amendment, which protects you against unreasonable searches and seizures. The Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and he's going to terminate the Constitution of the United States, which in most of those amendments, one thing or another was about a movement spurred by Black people to ensure that we would be equally protected under the law. Come on.
Let's take a question from Talkback.
Hi, my name is Joshua Fisher, age 31 years old, African-American male from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'd like to ask Madam Vice President what laws does she have planned to make sure that there's a stop to police brutality and murders that have been going on viciously?
So again, the work that I have done through my career and then most recently even when I was in the United States Senate to help write the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Cory Booker and I work very closely on that.
Could you tell people why that didn't pass too? Give folks a quick civics lesson.
We couldn't get the votes in Congress. There's a clip somewhere of me fighting with a Republican senator to actually, to actually get it passed. We couldn't get it passed. But what we did when we came in office and during the time that I've been vice president is we passed an executive order. So whereas we were trying, and I have been trying to make
And what was the executive order? Can you give me the number of that order, the statute, like where I can read it? Why is she just up here lying? Oh, see, I tried to get a bill passed, but I couldn't. But there's a clip somewhere. I'm sure there's a clip of me fighting some Republican senator.
These things national so that everyone would have to do it. An executive order by the president and our administration says that for federal law enforcement, the following things have to happen, which we for the first time put in place. No knock warrants, barring chokeholds, a national database. Now it's for federal law enforcement, but a national database for us to collect information and track police officers who have broken the law. And this is no small issue, this piece, in addition to everything else, because as we know, we've seen plenty of examples of a police officer who committed misconduct in one jurisdiction and then goes to another jurisdiction and gets hired because there's no place that's tracking their misconduct. So these are some of the things that we've done. And then listen, I'm still going to always work on getting the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act passed. Part of the work that I'm doing as a candidate for president of the United States includes lifting up those candidates who are running either for re-election or for the first time to Congress, who are supportive of what we need to do on all of the issues we've been discussing, whether it be freedom to vote and passing the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, whether it be freedom to make decisions about your own body, whether it be the freedom to just be and be free from any brutality, including police brutality when and where it occurs.
I think a lot of the frustration comes from people who will say sometimes politicians volunteer lies because, yes, it's great to try to pass the George Floyd Policing Act, but you probably know you can't get the votes. So why push that? Why push that on people knowing you can't get the votes?
I don't subscribe to that approach, and I'm going to tell you why. It took a long time for the Voting Rights Act to get done. It took the brutality of what happened when John Lewis and all those were trying to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge. It took a lot of work over our history to do what we have accomplished thus far. And we have to remain committed.
But how do you convince Republican senators, as you just said?
Well, part of it,
senators,
part of it is that their constituents are part of this. I mean, we have plenty of folks who want this, who live in districts where they serve. And this is the point. This gets back to the earlier point about you can't let anybody take you out of the game by not voting. The solutions, and maybe this is the point you're making about what President Obama said. The solutions are not going to happen just overnight. And the solutions that we all want are not going to happen in totality because of one election. But here's the thing. The things that we want and are prepared to fight for won't happen if we're not active and if we don't participate. We cannot allow circumstances to take us out the game, because then basically what we're saying is all those people who are obstructionists, who are standing in the way of change, they're winning. Because they're convincing people that it can't be done, so take yourself out. Don't participate. Look at that circle. Look at that vicious circle then. So let's not fall for it.
Zeke, this is my man Zeke. He's the president and CEO of New Era Detroit. He wants to talk to you about your black male agenda for the black community. Or just your agenda for the black community, period. Zeke, what's up, brother?
What up, though? What up, though? Madam Vice President, Charlamagne the God. What up, though, and welcome to Detroit.
Yes, sir.
It's good to be back.
I like to say the real Detroit because I'm up in here. My name is Zeke, New Era founder and CEO. I've worked on the ground here in Detroit and in black communities all across the country for over the past 10 years, actually celebrating our 10th year this past August.
All right.
In my 10 years of organizing, we played a major role in the resurgence of pride and the change in mindset in Detroit neighborhoods across the city. We are not only known for the work that we do here in Detroit, but across the country in black communities, having worked in over 35 cities of the blackest cities in America. Saying all that to say, I'm extremely qualified to sit in front of the current vice president and which can be the next president of the United States of America. As I pose my question to you, I would first like to make it known that I don't have any emotional connections to politicians. I believe that this is one of our biggest flaws in the current political process. I view politics as a business, and America is one of the biggest corporations in the world. With that being said, I'm here on behalf of the business of the black community. With all that black Americans have been.
With all due respect, my nigga, I ain't never even heard of you for you to be the de facto leader or spokesperson of our community. You ain't even gonna press this bitch about cosplaying our identity and our heritage. So what you mean you here on behalf of the black community? Miss me with that shit. Ain't nobody elect you.
Through and contribute to the success of America. I feel that there should be an in-depth
and yes, a hired shill to cosplay as a leader within the black community. Just like how back in the day they get a white person to pretend to be an Indian chief and then sign some shit. And oh, well, the chief signed it. That ain't the real chief. We don't know that motherfucker. Come on, they got this man reading a teleprompter. He can barely even get the words out. We can tell you're reading and you're not doing a good job at that.
Investigation or evaluation of the lack of resources and current living conditions in black communities nationwide. My question to you is, what's your stance on reparations? We all know that America became great, off the backs of free black labor. How progressive are you on making it a priority and righting America's wrongs? It's understood that.
Guys, get prepared. Instead of hearing a concrete answer, we're going to hear some fucking word salad. Watch.
You are running for president for all people of America. Asking for specifics for black communities doesn't mean don't do for others, but black Americans are heavily asked to vote Democrat in every election for over half a century with very little in return. What are your plans to address these very important issues and change that narrative?
Thank you, Zeke.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for your work. So to your point, yes, I am running to be a president for all Americans. That being said, I do have clear eyes about the disparities that exist and the context in which they exist, meaning history, to your point. So my agenda, well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position.
Oh, it has to be studied, guys. It has to be studied. So what are you going to do? Do you believe in reparation? Well, you know what? It needs to be studied. I'm all for studying it. You know what? I will guarantee that if you vote for me, I will put forth a group of people to study it for you. Guys, if you get me in the office, if you get me $450,000 for the rest of my life and Secret Service detail for the rest of my life, book deals, speaking engagement, if you guys make me richest woman in the world for the rest of my life. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. We know them queens and monarchs in Europe is shitting on Kamala's family. But guys, if we give her the world, then she will study us getting reparations. If we put her in the highest office that our country has to offer, then she'll think about studying reparations. Isn't that so progressive?
In terms of my immediate plan, I will tell you a few of the following. One, as it relates to the economy, which is a lot of what you have addressed. Look, I grew up in the middle class. My mother, worked hard, raised me and my sister, and by the time I was in high school, she was able to afford our first home.
Yeah, she went to private school in Canada, but she claimed she was middle class. Okay.
I know what it means for an individual and a family to have home ownership. I also know, in the context of history, nobody got 40 acres and a mule. We have a history of a number of things, including redlining. Detroit knows it well. A history of, for example, something that still exists that I've worked on to address, which is racial bias in home appraisals. And we know home ownership is, black families are 40% less likely to be homeowners than others. And that home ownership.
Guys, whenever she's asked about reparations, this is her cookie cutter response. Home ownership. Black people need home ownership. So I'm going to do a $25,000 down payment tax credit.
Is one of the surest ways to build intergenerational wealth, right? Because when you own a home, that's when if your child says, Daddy, I want to go to college, you can say, sweetheart, don't have to take out a loan. I'll take some equity out of the house. Or if your child says,
that is still a fucking loan, dumbass. You're just taking a loan out that's collateralized by your home. You're still taking out a loan. Oh, so instead of daddy getting a private loan where he backs it by maybe the car or something else, oh, he's going to take a home equity line of credit loan where if he doesn't pay it, he loses the house. What?
I want to start a small business, same point, right? So my plan includes making sure that for first-time home buyers, they have a $25,000 down payment assistance to just get their.
Oh, hey, so guess what? If you're a Black American and you've already purchased a home in your life, then you don't get reparations, thanks to Kamala. Because, her reparations package is a down payment assistance tax credit, and they already have those available. And the credit that she's talking about isn't just earmarked for Black people. It's for anybody. So once again, we got an immigrant giving us a lift-all program disguised as reparations.
Their foot in the door, because we know folks will work hard, they'll save, and pay that monthly mortgage. Second point is to bring down the cost of housing generally, because one of the issues is we have a housing supply shortage, and so that's about working with the private sector.
Yeah, Bridget, ain't you heard the news? Reparations is a $25,000 down payment. See, me and Bridget live in California, where the average home price is $500,000. So hey, if you can put up $475,000, Kamala will put up the other $25,000 for you. Like, what are we talking about? Such reparations. We have to buy into the scam of home ownership in order to get some kind of reparations, huh?
In terms of our small businesses, which are part of the backbone of the economy of the Black community and part of the backbone of America's economy writ large. My second mother, the woman who helped raise us, was a small business owner. I know who our small business owners are, and I have convened Black small business owners way before I was running for president in my official office at the White House to talk with young entrepreneurs, mostly young, about the work that they are doing that is about clean energy work, technology, as well as the traditional, whether it be a barbershop or a restaurant. One of the big issues facing Black entrepreneurs and Black small businesses is access to capital. Because unlike my opponent, who got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, don't forget that, calls himself a businessman, not everybody has access to the capital, but
you don't want to discuss your rich Irish Hindu family from Jamaica that has a town called Brownstown named after the family's slave plantation. God damn it. I don't know of any slave masters in Donald Trump's family, but Kamala Harris got slave masters in hers. Guys, don't touch that dial. As soon as this broadcast ends, there's going to be a 10-second countdown, and we're going to stay on this fraud's ass, just like we're P. Diddler himself. We'll see you in just a moment.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them in. This shit get way deeper than your pigment.
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a Native Black American and a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them in. This shit get way deeper than your pigment. What?
You don't have to try to be something you're not. Trying to be something I'm not? Trying to be proud of my African heritage? That's being something I'm not, then fine. My grandmother was a full-blooded Iroquois. I know all of that, Mama. Then know this. I am alive because of the blood of the people who never scraped or begged or apologized for what they were. They asked only one thing of this world, to be allowed to be. It broke my heart when you changed your name. I gave you my grandmother's name, a woman who bore 9 children and educated them all, who held off 6 white men with a shotgun when they tried to drag one of her sons off to jail for not knowing his place. And you had to reach into an African dictionary to find a name that would make you proud.
My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American. Making music would've thought I had help, but the Indians I know wanna be the chief they self.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, smash the like button on the way in. Subscribe to the channel if you've yet to do so. Hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you support the mission. You know they still got your boy demonetized and shadow banned, but still here we are. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me to cover this. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard that Janet Jackson low-key called out Kamala Harris's false flag and identity politics. You know, she was asked about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris being the first Black president, and Janet just said straight up, hey, I heard her daddy was white. I mean, I heard she was Indian. I don't know nothing about her being Black. And you know what? A lot of people started running defense for Kamala. They started to publish a lot of misinformation, making the claim that Janet Jackson took back those statements and apologized. But that was not the case at all. Let's take a look.
In an interview with The Guardian, a reporter brought up the U.S. election, saying to Janet that Kamala Harris could be the first Black female president of the United States, to which Ms. Jackson replied, "She's not Black, that's what I heard, that she's Indian." Continuing, "Her father's white, that's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered her father was white."
And look, even she's saying, hey, I haven't really stayed on top of this. I haven't really watched the news, but this is what I heard. And you know what? Janet Jackson is wrong. Is she a legend? Is she an icon? Yes, but if she is wrong, she is wrong. And I'm going to call out Janet Jackson right now for being incorrect, because facts matter and the truth matters, goddammit. And Kamala Harris's father is not white. Kamala Harris's father is white and Hindu. Yeah. He got a little bit of melanin, guys. He's not full white. You know, he's half Irish, half Hindu, but guess what? That still means he's not a Black American, nor a foundational Black American, nor a native Black American. Let's get into it.
Father was white. She didn't let the reporter know where she heard this false information, but did say about the election, "Either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem." After that interview, a man named Mo El Masri issued an apology on her behalf.
Ooh, some Indian came out to defend his fellow Indian Kamala and put out a false statement on Janet's behalf in support of Kamala. Look how these Indians rocking for their own. Look at this. Jafar, sit down. Habibi, take a seat. Aladdin, relax. What?
Behalf, saying her comments on the vice president were based on misinformation. Janet's rep stepped in and told People Mag that El Masri is not Janet's manager, nor is he affiliated with her camp. The rep says Randy Jackson is Janet's manager. El Masri spoke to Variety saying, "I no longer work for her. I was fired by Janet and Randy after attempts to improve her image in front of public opinion and her fans."
No, you were fired for speaking out of turn and putting words at Janet Jackson's mouth in support of Kamala. You grimy bastard. You grimy bastard. And guys, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. This is not clickbait. Candace Owens has actually done a great job tracing Kamala Harris's genealogy, and she has proven Janet Jackson right. Candace Owens has proved Janet Jackson right when she has heard theories of Kamala not being Black, because when we look into her genealogy, when we look into the paper trail as it relates to Kamala Harris's family tree, we don't see nothing that denotes Native Black American. Not at all.
Everything, because this is officially the only podcast.
Oh, and hold on, guys. You know, I got so much information I got to sift through on a daily for you all. I watch things on 2x speed. So let me put this in normal speed real quick.
You need to listen to today. Yesterday, I received an email from a woman all the way in New Zealand who decided to turn into Sherlock Holmes and fully dedicate herself to investigating Kamala Harris and all of these missing documents and all of these questions. And what she uncovered is potentially so shocking and so alarming that we can officially close the $1,000 bounty because she's earned it. I mean, she's going to receive the full 1K, because this is now getting dark and twisted. And my suspicions about Kamala Harris potentially pretending that the help was her family maybe have been confirmed. I'm going to let you guys judge. Don't want to get way ahead of myself, but do not go away, and welcome back to Candace.
And guys, I must say, I'm not one to champion or support or big up or dick ride Candace Owens, but if the information is right, the information is right, regardless of the source. And I know she did some egregious things, especially when it relates to the whole George Floyd situation. But hey, if she's done some paper trail genealogy on Kamala, Scamala, Obamala, then let's see what the findings reveal.
I don't even know where we begin here. I mean, I'm just shaken. So look, if you're just jumping into this, you got to stop and you got to go back 2 episodes and play catch up, episode 70 and episode 71, because we're not going to do too much recapping here because I want to jump right into this. Basically, someone came for Janet Jackson and I answered the door. It was a discrepancy that was in Kamala's book, a woman that she said was her grandmother named Beryl, a picture of her and her grandmother Beryl. Here it is.
And game recognized game. Ever since Candace got fired from the Daily Wire, she been trying to score points with the black folks. She said people was coming for Auntie Janet, and Candace answered the door and took off her earrings and said, I'm a scrap for Janet Jackson's honor. All right, Candace. All right, take a seat.
Is visiting my paternal grandmother Beryl in Jamaica. And then I did just a brief search online and found out that Beryl allegedly died 4 years before Kamala was born. So that's a major red flag. Then I had a little bit of a gut instinct. The photos that were being presented of Kamala and her grandparents. Great.
And guys, if that just went over your head, I don't blame you. Candace Owens' voice is a bit annoying if you ask me. But Kamala, her main claim to being black is this photo that Kamala shows. Kamala proudly shows this photo and says, hey, this is me and my grandma or my great-great-grandma or something. This is us, right? Well, when Candace's team did the genealogy, it turns out Kamala's grandmother died 4 years before she was born. So this woman that she's posing in a photo with, who doesn't look happy at all, who looks like, damn, I'm paid to be here right now. This is most likely the help. This is most likely a nanny. This is most likely a Jamaican house servant of sorts that posed for a photo op. I mean, how are you going to take a photo with this woman, claim it's your grandmother, when your grandmother died 4 years before you were born? Guys, the truth is stranger than fiction.
Feel that maybe this woman was the help. And I'm not saying that because she's black. I'm not racist against black people. I am black. I'm saying this because there's just a lack of emotion there. Like, I don't know if it's just my grandparents, but when they're with you, they're like super cuddly and cute. And this woman's just kind of very serious each time that she's being featured here. So anyways, what happened was we sourced Beryl's birth certificate. And then my instinct got a little bit stronger because her name was spelled differently in the birth certificate, right? So you see that it says Beryl spelled B-E-R-I-L, Magdalene. And we know for a fact, by the way, so people that are submitting other birth certificates, this is definitively the correct birth certificate because it says Iris Finnegan. And we know based on Kamala and Kamala's father, Donald J. Harris, that Iris Finnegan is the mother of Beryl. And then we see that her name changes, the spelling of her name changes rather by the time that we looked at her marriage certificate. Suddenly you can see that the marriage certificate has her name being spelled with a Y. Now that to me signaled that maybe she definitely is the help, and I'll tell you why. So my grandfather, before he passed away, maybe like 10 years before he passed away, I got kind of obsessed with trying to find all of these documents pertaining to his life because I realized like that's my ancestry. And I was having a ton of trouble mining his grandmother's information because on each document, her name was spelled differently as well as other people in the family. And I was like, Granddad, why is everyone's name spelled differently depending on the document? Like, this is very confusing. Why is it sometimes spelled Liza versus Eliza versus like Lizbeth? That was his grandmother's name. And he explained to me that they didn't know how to read and write. So you forget this. You forget that you had a world, the majority of people couldn't read and write, especially if you were not considered like a high class person. My grandfather grew up on a sharecropping farm. And so what that meant was even if you had a name, if you couldn't read and write, you were going up to the register, whether it was for birth, whatever it was, and you were just telling somebody the name. You weren't saying like, hi, it's Candace, C-A-N-D-A-C-E. You're just saying Candace, and one person might spell it C-A-N-D-I-S. Somebody might spell it C-A-N-D-I-C-E. If you do not know how to read and write, you don't recognize these discrepancies. So that actually, I thought was a good thing in terms of like my idea that this woman could have potentially just been the help, maybe like on my scent. But I didn't want to be too convinced. Obviously, you know, I lean into the conspiracy mindset because we've been lied to so many times. But like I said, we did find that marriage certificate between Beryl and Lawford.
And shout out to Momo. Momo says, isn't Candace Owens also Jamaican? Yes, Candace Owens is not a native Black American. This is why heritage is important. This is why genealogy is so paramount. Ever since she got fired from the Daily Wire, she's trying to do a new grift where she's really trying to cosplay as a Black American and act like she's a part of our community. And look, she's defending Janet Jackson. Look, she's interviewing Kanye and going on Black podcasts. No. You're not like us. But if you got some valid info, we're going to take a look.
Newland, which was in July of 1944. And I want to be clear, guys, we know for a fact this is the correct Beryl. So we're not confused here and looking for more documentation when it comes to the birth or the marriage, because the correct parents are listed. You can see Patrick Finnegan is listed. And so we know that Beryl's parents are Iris Finnegan and Patrick Finnegan. So that is the correct parent, the correct marriage certificate. But we had no idea who Lawford Newland was. We had no idea that Beryl had allegedly been married after she birthed Donald Harris. That would be Kamala Harris's father. Thought that was like quite strange. She would have been 6 years old in 1944. Donald Harris was born in 1938. So this means that she got married to this guy, Lawford Newland, and she had a 6-year-old. So I thought that was quite strange. I couldn't find anything on Lawford Newland, but somebody on the team was able to determine that he arrived on a ship to New Orleans. He arrived in New Orleans, from Jamaica in May of 1943. So we're showing you here the ship manifest, and Lawford Newland is on the ship, and he is listed as, he's listed as a Negro. He's Black. It says his marital status is
how to make a mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub.
Collard greens in a bathtub, an image that's cheap and classless.
Yeah, y'all, this is wild. This is wild. And although I don't rock with Candace, I gotta admit, when I was watching this, I was geeking out a bit, because this is the meticulous paper trail genealogy research that I do with dozens of Black Americans each and every week. We look through the census, birth certificates, death certificates, and when we do that, we typically find not ancestors coming from a slave boat from Africa, but we find ancestors that are affiliated with American Indian tribes.
To know, Mike is the real deal. His information is real. He's a humble brother, and he's all about the information. He's not about, personal gain or personal applause, personal credit. This is about our nation. It's not about one individual, but it's about us collectively as a people. And Mike is all about that, So we stand behind the brother 100%.
If you have any doubt, get it out your head immediately. So yeah, like I'm going to continue to work with Mike as much as I can. So I want to say thank you, Mike, for actually taking the time out and talk with me and my husband. Like, you definitely informed us on a lot of things. And the people out there that's watching, he will also inform you on a lot of things that you may not even know about. So I want to say thank you again, Mike.
Trip the year before he got married to Beryl. So quite strangely, he went to New Orleans, and then I guess he at some point had to have gone back just a year later to get married. We still have not been able to locate the relevant marriage certificate between Oscar Harris. Now that's, again, Kamala's dad. His father is Oscar Harris. We cannot find that marriage between Kamala's grandfather and Beryl. So that's like a huge question mark there, right? Like, where is...
And if any of you guys are getting lost in the technicalities of all this genealogy research, basically what Candace is saying is the math ain't mathin'. If you do somebody's genealogy, like how I meet with Black folks every week and help them trace their family tree, right? It shouldn't bring up that many questions, like your grandparents are married. Here's their marriage document. This is your great-great-grandparent. Here's their census record. But when we go to look at Kamala Harris's Ancestry, the math ain't math and it's not making sense. You said that this is you in a photo with your grandma, but your grandma on record died 4 years before you were born. There's no record of your great grandfather marrying your great grandma. It's just not making no sense.
That marriage certificate, if you guys find it, we're checking our emails. And we're obviously aware that there are a lot of different barrels that are being born in Jamaica at different times. Some people are like, this could be the case of 2 barrels, and they're sending us different birth certificates. Like I said, we know we have the correct birth certificate. We know we have the correct marriage certificate. We know for a fact that this barrel did get married and that Donald should have been 6 years old when she got married. So it begs the question, was this her second marriage? Did she have a child out of wedlock with Oscar Harris? Did she have Donald? And then did she get married? Because it lists her on her marriage certificate as a spinster, which means that she's not married, obviously. And then she gets married to Lawford Newland. And then at some point they would have had to divorce if she remarried and got married to Oscar. So she would have had to have gotten with him, had a child with him, married somebody else, divorced that somebody else, and then gotten back together with Oscar and gotten married. That's like a lot of movement. Again, we don't have any documentation, so we're not going to speculate. But Beryl in general, I'm not describing her as the dog that's not barking, okay? So some people were saying, well, I've seen on different websites that there was also a Beryl Harris that died in 1995, and maybe this could potentially be her. We've done the math on that. No, that woman would have been born in 1914. Like I said, we know for a fact Beryl was born. The birth certificates are probably the most relevant source because you obviously wouldn't have a birth certificate written years later after the fact that your child was born. And it says that Beryl was born in 1917. But I started going back to that piece that Donald Harris wrote. Remember, the first time that we were kind of introduced to the fact that Kamala Harris was Black, it was because Donald Harris wrote this piece, which came right behind Kamala Harris's book, Reflections of a Jamaican Father. And I just would like to, by the way, really stress to you how Black he was trying to suddenly make them. Like, I'm just going to read you the first sentence of this.
And before we get into this, let's remember Jamaican does not mean Black. Jamaican is a nationality. That's not an ethnicity. There's Chinese Jamaicans, Irish Jamaicans, Asian Jamaicans, and everything in between. Just because you're Jamaican, just because you live in Jamaica, don't mean you're Black. Their whole motto was one nation out of many. So a lot of us had, the wool pulled over our eyes with the Jamaican, because when we think about Jamaicans, we think about Black folks. Nah, go to Jamaica and it'll surprise you.
By Donald J. Harris, Kamala's father. As a child growing up in Jamaica, I often heard it said by my parents and family friends, "Member where you come from." And then he goes on and he writes, my one big regret is that Kamala and her sister did not come to know very well the 2 most influential women in my life, Miss Chrissy and Miss Iris. Okay, so those are his grandparents, according to him. Those are both of his grandmothers, maternal and paternal. And then the whole piece is about his grandmother, his two grandmothers. And he wrote, both of my grandmothers had the strongest influence on my early upbringing. And then in parentheses, he writes, not to exclude, of course, the influence of my dear mother, Miss Beryl, and loving father, Mass Oscar. Like, I think it's supposed to be like Massa, like Mass Oscar. Very strange. Again, nobody that I know calls their mom Miss Beryl, calls their grandmother Miss Iris, and calls their other grandmother Miss Iris. There's something about that doesn't strike me as familial. But again,
and the Massa makes sense because word on the street is her father descends from an Irish slaveholder in Jamaica, that there's supposed to be a town still named after the family in Jamaica present day. So when we see the Massa, yeah. Ooh, when Janet says, hey, I heard her daddy's white, yeah, he descends from Irish slave traders, plantation owners, mixed with some Hindu. But all of a sudden, just like tethers do, they start trying to cosplay as some Black folks when it's convenient.
And that's speculation. Doesn't matter. Maybe there is this strange family where everyone, like, they address their mom as Miss, and they address their grandmother as Miss, and they address their other grandmother as Miss. Like that, it really isn't up to us to make any conclusions. But that's the first and last time that he mentions his mother, Miss Beryl, okay? Which signals to me that my theory about her having died young, you're saying you're raised by your grandparents, but your mother is around, but you don't talk about your mother or speak about your mother at all in this entire piece, signals to me that this is correct and your mother died early, okay? You're not mentioning her for a reason. So then this gets crazy. I get an email. Actually, I got 2 emails, but this one in particular made me sit up straight in bed. Like, I'm not kidding. I was like about to fall asleep and I just decided to check the email box and I like sat up. I sat up just like this and started texting everyone. And I woke my husband up. I was like, you have to read this email. This is completely crazy. It came all the way from New Zealand. Shout out to New Zealand. I'll be on tour there soon, you guys. Get out there.
And we just had a cash app come through from Cameron. Cameron, I appreciate the support. Thank you for supporting the show.
Buy some tickets because we're going to talk about this now. That's the only thing I'm going to speak about in New Zealand. But I'm going to just read this this email to you because it's just incredible. Kia ora from New Zealand, Candace. My name is blank. And after your first podcast about the family of Kamala Harris yesterday, I went down the rabbit hole all day looking for photos of Beryl Finnegan Harris's brothers and sisters, as you asked. I was so intrigued and I wanted to take up your challenge. I could not find those photos, but I did come across a record that you might be interested in. I noticed on Kamala's birth certificate, you showed that her father, Donald Harris, was 26 at her birth in 1964, giving him a presumable birth year of 1938. That is correct. He was born in 1938. I'm just saying that as an aside. I came across the attached record of a 1-year-old child who died in 1940 in St. Anne's Parish. This infant's name was Donald Harris. You will notice the baby's father's name that is given was Albert Harris, and there's no mother mentioned. However, you'll be interested to notice that a person listed as present at the death of the child was none other than Beryl Harris. She has also signed the death record. What are the chances that Beryl had her own baby named Donald in 1938 and then was also in attendance of the passing of a baby named Donald Harris in 1940? Weird, right? And just to be clear, that we're going to show you that certificate because it would mean that there were 2 Donald Harris babies born that Beryl was around. One was hers and one, I don't know, guys. It's getting weird. I'm going to finish this email, then we're going to talk about it. I have looked for the infant's father, Albert Harris, and cannot find a lot about him. Albert's father name was Abraham Harris. I believe it is possible he was married to a Violet Fearon on the 6th of March, 1935. No record of her passing, so why was she not at her child's death? But Beryl Harris was. Was this baby Beryl's or Violet's? If Donald Harris passed 1 year old, who is the man claiming to be Kamala's father? Oh my gosh, chill. She wrote, make it make sense. I'll keep digging.
Come on, y'all. The rabbit hole goes deep. If we got a person that's a baby that's dead, death record signed by your grandmother, and the same name of that baby that died is the name of your father, but your father also claims to have been born 2 years prior in 1938, it don't make no sense. It looks like, if we're just going to speak candidly, it looks like the person that she's claiming as her father, it looks like the one strand that she's claiming her Black ancestry comes from, it looks like that may not even be her father at all. We got a death record for the person that's supposed to be your father. Who's this dude? What's going on?
Chills. I was like, what are you talking about? I opened this email so fast. It was crazy. And let me just show you the attachment. Chills. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out all over again. It's hitting me. It's a second wave here of what? So yes, you will see that listed here. This is a death certificate that is on the 29th of November, 1940. Okay. In St. Anne Parish. That obviously is where her family is from. And yes, the child's name was Donald Harris. The child died before the child turned 2. So this would mean that it is plausible that this child was born in 1938, the exact same year that Donald J. Harris, Kamala's father, was born. Okay. Can you pull it back up? I'm not done reading through this. Okay. So you have also, it says the certified cause of death is fever and a cold. And it's letting you know, it says the duration of the illness, so that this baby was sick for 1 month, rest in peace. And it does mention that that baby is the son of Albert Harris. And just as this person speculates, it is signed by Beryl Harris, and it tells you, because you're supposed to include this, the signature of the person who was present at the death. And it says Beryl Harris, present at the death.
Guys, the rabbit hole runs deep. Guys, this makes absolutely no sense. This is who Kamala wants us to believe is her father, Donald J. Harris, born in 1938, the same year that we have another Donald Harris dying in 1938. And the reason why this is so profound, because on the surface level, you guys could say, well, Mike, it's just a coincidence. There was a baby named Donald Harris that died at the same year that a baby named Donald Harris was born. But here's the weird part. This Donald Harris's mother signed the death certificate for the other Donald Harris that died at the same year this Donald Harris was allegedly born. Come on, make it make sense. Again, you guys could say on surface level, hey, this is just a case of the same name. For example, my name is Michael Lane. That's a pretty common name. I'm sure, even though I'm born in 1994, I'm sure there was maybe another baby named Michael Lane that died in the same year I was born. But you know what would be freaking weird about that? If my mother signed the death certificate for that other baby named Michael Lane that died in the same year that I was born. Do you guys understand now? I hope I've made it clearer than Candace Owens was able to disseminate the information, but guys, this makes no sense. What is Kamala hiding? The truth is stranger than fiction, by far, by far.
And that is at Mount Moriah in St. Anne. Now, I want to be clear, there is no place to put the mother's name. So it's not like there's anything like strange here. I just think that if this is this Beryl's child, and this Beryl Harris was married to this Albert Harris, or together with this Albert Harris at some time, like that is the reason why it just says that present for the death. Like literally, who else would be present? If your child is dying less than 2 years old, okay, barely 2 years old, who would you allow to be there in your place? There's no mother on earth that wouldn't be next to their child. So it is very heavily suggested that Beryl Harris was there for the presence of her son, Donald Harris, dying. And that would put that approximate birth of that baby at 1938. Stop the press. Stop the press. Okay. So you can imagine me. Now you're me sitting up straight. Like, what is going on here? Like, actually, what do I know about Kamala's father? Like, this could be a coincidence. I'm sure. Yeah, I guess you could have like a lot of Beryls that are giving birth to Donalds in the year 1938 in St. Anne Parish. Of course, like you have to consider every possibility here, but also consider that this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Okay. So then I received a second email. Okay. Very interesting here. Very interesting here. And I'm just going to read the email. I'm just going to read the email and take you through this. What happens when I go through my info box? I tell you guys to message with deets. This email says, "Hi, Candace. See the death certificate below indicating that Beryl Christie was a domestic servant in 1936 when her infant daughter died." So there's another, and this person has written Beryl Christie, and
Fred said, who was Donald J. Harris's mother? Apparently it was Beryl Christie. And what we're learning here is that the man that they allege is her father really may not even be her father, really on some real CIA psyop type shit. But if that is her father, well, his father was a Irish slave master, and his mother was a servant or a Jamaican slave of sorts. So, you know, this gets weird when we find that this Beryl, who was a servant, died 4 years before Kamala was born, yet Kamala posts pictures of her with some woman she claims is her grandmother. Guys, the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper.
And lost her daughter, and I'm going to pull it up here at the bottom of this email. She talks about like the birth dates. I'll get to that later. Do you guys have a close-up of this? Yeah. Okay. So you can see here, it is Beryl Christie. And this would mean not only did Beryl Christie lose a child in 1940, but prior to that, Beryl Christie lost a daughter in 1936. Okay. Again, all we have here is Beryl Christie. We know that this is potentially the right Beryl. Again, there could be another Beryl Christie going around. I don't want to completely close the door on that, but it is interesting. And I'll tell you why this struck me as incredibly interesting, because when we spoke about the death certificate yesterday, right? And we spoke about this young death of a woman. She's particularly died, Beryl Christie, of fibroids.
And yes, T, Kamala wrote that book. It was already being set up for her to become president. Yes, that book, that memoir that Kamala Harris published was in 2019. The only evidence that we have to support Kamala claiming she's Black is her own book, where she has a picture with a Black lady she claims is her grandma. But when we go through the paper trail genealogy, we find that woman who's a grandmother died 4 years before she was born. So the math ain't mathin'. We know presidents are selected and not elected. And if they know several years down the line, we need to do an Obama 2.0. We need to get an immigrant that looks like they could be a little Black and get them to cosplay for the Black vote. Well, hey, we're going to position Kamala.
Related to a hysterectomy. So if there is a Beryl Christie that had back-to-back, had lost children in some regard, you could imagine that she might have been injured internally. This is a long time ago. You would imagine that the procedures, obviously, you know, are not what they are today. And it is plausible that that woman died young of fibroids from a hysterectomy related to the fact that she had 2 troubling births, whatever it is, carrying children didn't work out for her. I just thought, like, okay, but the big part about that second one is that we now know for a fact that there was a Beryl Christie that was, in fact, a domestic servant. Can you pull that back up again? Because I want to point that out so people can see this. The last one, the close up of it, if we can. You can see that she is listed as a domestic servant. That girl is listed as the daughter of Beryl Christie. You can see that in that where it says rank, profession, or occupation, daughter of Beryl Christie, domestic servant. I don't know, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to now, I'm putting in columns to sort through the various Beryl Christies that were born around this time. Like I said, you guys keep sending me stuff, but just to make sure you're filtering yourself, we know for a fact that Beryl Christie was born in 1917. We know for a fact that Beryl Christie got married in 1944. To Lawland Newford, or whatever his name is, Lawford Newland, pardon. And so we don't need a bunch of documents speculating that it could be a different birth, because her parents are listed, and Kamala and her father have confirmed that her parents are Iris and Patrick Finnegan. Okay. So we know those are the people that we are looking for.
Come on, guys. Now, do you understand the importance of paper trail genealogy research? Kamala Harris could have pulled a Obama and really passed for one of us. She talks like us. She acts like us when she needs to. But when we look through the paper trail genealogy, we find that truth is stranger than fiction. And when Black Americans do the same and finally map out their family tree, we learn that most of us don't descend from African slaves. About slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a Native Black American and a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
The first time ever since obviously being on YouTube for over 5 years, I have ever booked a session, and man, I'm glad that it was with you, Mike. And I look forward to being one of your one of your testimonials of, you know, I'm going down this journey so my family can start to get a sense of who really we are, and not just leave it as stories out there floating, but really get to the, you know, weeds of things. And I can do better, and I can teach my daughter exactly, not from her mom's side, but from her father's side, what your bloodline really is, and be proud of that. I thank you for that, Mike.
You to remember this, you not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and them British men. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment. What?
So we know those are the people that we are looking for. Oddly enough, though, because a lot of people have been pointing out the fact that in her birth certificate, even though we know that that's her mom, Iris, that's the mom's name, Iris Finnegan, it says Magdalene, and then suddenly it converts to Christy. Well, I just wanted to point out to you, because that was a question we were getting a lot, is why would she take on Christy? In Donald Harris's piece, he writes explicitly that Miss Iris, so that's Kamala's great-grandmother, that her husband was known as Mr. Christie. So I'll read you that paragraph. It says, Miss Iris, mother of 8 children, I can't find 8 children, by the way, was the sweetest and gentlest person one could meet, but underneath it was a tough farming woman who ran the cane farm at Thatch Walk, jointly owned with her husband, Mr. Christie. So the reason she may have put Christie or started using Christie as a middle name is because that would mean that her father was being called Mr. Christie. Again, we are getting that directly from Donald J. Harris, who I'm now very interested in. I'm now very interested in this particular Donald J. Harris. Obviously, very easy way to debunk this, and maybe there really was just another Beryl Christie that happened to have a child named Donald in the same year from the same parish, would be to just take a look at Kamala's father's birth certificate. And we can't find that.
Hey, on some Obama, Trump, where's the birth certificate type shit, right? Shout out to American Holocaust Survivor. They say she should be able to show old family reunion pics. None of us have dots on our heads. Hey, I found her family reunion pics, and this is what it looks like. I see dots on the head. The arrow is pointing to Kamala. I know you probably couldn't recognize her there for a moment, but that red arrow is pointing towards Kamala Harris. That's her people. That's her family. Let's play, instead of Where's Waldo, let's play Where's the Black Person? I don't see one, do you? But I digress.
We quite literally cannot find that, and I find that to be very strange. People were writing to me saying, hey, it looks like this was purposefully removed, that his birth certificate was removed. And I would just like to find it, because it would just kind of let me be at ease and know that there's nothing further to look.
Guys, this is some CIA psyops type shit. Her father was allegedly born the same year that someone of the same name died, and his mother signed the death certificate for the other baby with the same name that died at the same year that he was born. And as a genealogist, I can tell you, birth certificates are public record. If I know your first and last name, I can find your birth certificate. It's not hard to find. It's all public. So the fact we can't find a birth certificate on her father, oh, Lord, that's the cherry on top. That's how you know this is a psyops. We got more questions than answers.
Look at other than this child, because it's just a very, very strange thing. Okay, I also wanted to just go over everything we do know about Donald J. Harris, because I was interested in him suddenly. And the first thing is, he, according to him, like Miss Christie in this piece, is his paternal grandmother. He calls her Miss Christie. He acknowledges that they were descendants of the slave owner Hamilton Brown, and he is the founder of Brownstown. That's another thing that strikes me as very odd, and maybe there's something I'm missing here.
I told you guys earlier, her daddy is a descendant of a slave master that has a town named after him. Didn't I say that? Don't you know me as the king of receipts? It's called Brownstown. damn, she's trying to cosplay as one of us, and they got a whole town in Jamaica named after her slave holding ass ancestors. Okay.
Here, but if you were a person that established a town and you had over 1,000 slaves, would you really just openly be married to some of these slaves? Like, is that something that would happen? I know that obviously they would have relations with the slaves, and that's something that is a reality. But in the way that they speak about their family, it's like they were just openly married with slave owners and slavers, which I find to be a little bit strange. As I said, he claims that Miss Crishy owned and operated a dry goods store, and that she died in 1951 at the age of 70. Then we have Miss Iris, who he mentions. That's the maternal grandmother. We can actually get up this, we can get up the family tree so people can see this. He mentions Miss Iris, and that is the person that he completely fawns over. That's his maternal grandmother, Miss Iris. She was a farmer, an educator, he claims. And he also says, which I find to be quite strange. Remember, he says he has the strongest relationship with Miss Iris, doesn't even mention his mother, Beryl. By the way, these photos are the ones that have been provided by Kamala herself and her father. I cannot verify that these are accurate photos, but we're just going to use the ones that they're given. But what's quite strange is he says that Miss Iris's ancestry is unknown to him. So I guess they never had that conversation despite how close they are. Again, she jointly owned the farm with her husband, Mr. Christie, and he died in 1981 at the age of 93. Sorry, pardon. He says that she died at the age of 93 at the age of 1981. That's Miss Iris. Then you have Joseph Alexander Harris. Now that is the person who we are to understand that she was married to. The Harris name comes from his paternal grandfather, Joseph Alexander Harris. He was the landowner and the agricultural produce export, and he refers to the family property as Orange Hill. I think we need some Jamaicans to go out here and just start verifying stuff for me. And that Uncle Newton took over Orange Hill and started a limestone mining and brick producing operation in addition to cattle, grass, fruit.
Come on, y'all. Come on. Critical Thinker says, we aren't playing with her. Candace pulled up her genealogy. That's what I'm saying. I don't rock with Candace Owens, but as a full-time genealogist, I appreciate the paper trail research she did. This is what I teach you guys how to do day in and day out. We got to do this for our own families to learn where we come from and what our history is, because it's not what they taught us in a public education school system. The same kind of diligent effort that Candace and her team went through to trace Kamala's genealogy, we got to do it with ours. But yeah, this is wild, guys. She wants to cosplay as one of us, and turns out she descends from slave masters with a whole town named after them.
Pimiento.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a live caller coming from the back to the front. Is Desmond. Desmond, where are you calling in from, and what's on your mind?
I'm calling in from Florida, and I think it's time for us to reach a middle point here, Mike. I mean, we're literally on two sides of the fence here. So I've been listening to you, and I have my opinions, but now that I've said my opinions, it's like you guys want to cut me. So we need to reach a middle point here, or something that we agree on. Like, literally, I've seen everything you put up, and I believe everything you put up. I believe it to this point. But let's be honest here. We're literally voting between the two evils. As much as New Era is there in that chat saying there's multiple parties, we both know politics, Mike. We know how politics work. In all fairness, there's multiple parties, but when it comes down to it, it's always only two parties left out there. And I hate to say it, it's disgusting. Politics are very disgusting about that, and it's always been that way. But it shouldn't cause a division between people, man, including us. Even though we have different opinions, I still respect your opinions. So that's why I'm just asking you to just kind of understand even where I'm coming from, even though I might be on the other side of the fence. Now, just because I'm on the other side of the fence and I have my opinions does not mean I'm automatically blue. I'm not blue. It's just that, I'm sorry, I can't vote for Donald Trump, man. I just can't. It's ridiculous, and I don't like to vote for her. But there's literally, honestly, There is no other choice. If you don't vote, it's going to go to him. And if you do, she's still going to screw us over. They're both going to stab us in the back. So that's basically what I'm trying to get at. We can sit here and talk about both of them, left and right. We can both talk till our faces are blue, black, and red. But it's not going to change the fact that all of this shit is fucked up and it's corrupted, and this is a tool for division. It is. It's one of the biggest division tools that's out there. We both know this. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit, and I'm listening to what you have to say, Mike, because I've been listening to you, and I do still agree with you even all the way to this point. But even with me agreeing with everything that you have said, I still have found other sources. So I'm neutral. I'm not on either side. I'm not for blue and I'm not for red. But just because I have a disagreement with you guys doesn't mean I'm automatically buck riding for Kamala Harris. I don't like her as much as you guys. She's an immigrant. She literally is. Her grandfather is a freaking slave owner. You think I really want to go for someone that's like that? Or do I want to go for someone who constantly has Putin on speed dial? How do you choose anything good when both sides are evil? That's basically what I'm trying to get at with all of you guys. Both sides are a piece of shit, but we don't have anything else. So that's it. Yeah, and I did call in to just state my opinion. It wasn't just venting. It's just an opinion. If you agree with it or you don't agree with it, that's fine. I understand that. So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. And I just wanted to listen in. The reason why I still continue watching you now is because of what I have established with you for the past years, man. I still respect your opinion, but it would be nice to, get the same. You can talk, Mike. It's your show.
Oh,
It's your
okay,
show.
okay. I wasn't sure if you were finished with that monologue there.
I'm finished. I'm finished.
So,
Finished with the
so
Bill
the
monologue.
first thing I want to address is you said something about me being on the other side of the fence. What quote unquote side of the fence do you believe I'm on?
I believe you're swaying. And I thought we were both in the middle.
What
I
does
thought we
that
were neutral,
mean?
man. You're left and right, left and right, left and right. I don't know which side you're on, Mike. That's what's confusing me.
I'm on neither
I've been
side.
listening to you for
Maybe that's
years.
the confusing part. I don't have any
Then we
party
should be saying we should have a
allegiances.
middle ground. If you're on either
Yeah.
side, then we should have a
Okay,
middle
so to
ground.
continue my first point I was trying to address with you, when you make statements, assuming what side of an alleged fence I'm on, I mean, where do you get this from? You say I'm left and I'm right. I mean, can you give more concrete examples? What's an example of something I said that's right, and what's something I said that's left? I mean, I didn't know you can say things that correlate to directions or orientations. I mean, I'm just a bit confused right now.
Okay. Everything you have said up to this point about Kamala Harris is true, but there's a lot of things that's also left out, and that goes for both people.
Okay, so what do you think I left out about Kamala Harris?
Well, one of the facts that, she doesn't have the struggles we have. That's true. But at the same time, she's being put through the ringer. I mean, what?
I'm not understanding that statement. I asked you specifically what did I get wrong about Kamala Harris?
You didn't say anything wrong so far. You just haven't said
there's
everything
nothing that
right.
you have a
It's one thing
disagreement
about
with that I've said, or
no. That's what I'm trying to get with you, Mike. There is no disagreement with what you said. It just seems that.
So then, what's the point of contention here?
The point of contention is that because the opinion that I'm stating just sounds different than what is normally said. It just sounds like
Your
that.
opinion that you state does not sound different than other opinions normally said. We've heard these same vote blue or you're not black talking points for a long, long time. So I'm not sure
But that's the
why you
thing.
think
I'm
you're
not
saying
telling you
something
to vote
original.
blue. I'm not trying to tell you to vote for her.
You literally did a 5-minute diatribe before I can even respond to you about how just Trump. I mean, it's just like it's like two options, and like I just can't vote Trump, so like I just have to vote Kamala. I mean, these were your words, not mine.
What else you think politics is about? What do you think politics actually is?
Sir, I
If we
think
both know the
politics
same.
is exactly what is happening right now. The whole point of the theater of politics is to get people like you emotionally invested. The fact that you have so much emotional energy for something that matters so little, it's proof that this political theater is working just as it's designed to do. I mean, we're literally just reacting to a video of a woman most of us don't even like, Candace Owens, and we're just taking in the information about Kamala Harris's genealogy, and somehow that triggers you to the point where you're in my chat whining about, oh, well, you guys should just take away my mod wrench, 3 years and we're ending a gathering just because you don't want people to talk about the fact that Kamala lied about her heritage. I mean, I'm confused. I'm confused. Before we let you continue, we do have a new guest. Let's see what they've got to say. Curtis is coming from the back to the front. Curtis, where are you calling in from and what's on your mind?
What up, Mike? Curtis calling in from Louisville, Kentucky. What up, Diz? Long time.
Yeah. And SD, I also don't know what ringer she's been through. I mean, rich elitists, went to private school in Canada, grew up in the Bay when she came back. I mean, prosecutor, bourgeoisie, descendant of slave masters, and HBCU Boule Harris. I mean, I don't know what struggle she's went through. I mean, wait, Kamala knows the struggle of feeling the sizzle of a hot comb, just like she knows the struggle of washing collard greens in the bathtub, right?
The struggle of pretending to be black.
Yeah, but Curtis, go ahead and chime in. Let us know what point in the stream did you start watching? What do you think about the interaction with Desmond? How much of that have you been able to catch?
Yeah, I didn't catch anything about Desmond. I didn't know Desmond got in his feelings about the Camilla thing. It's kind of funny to me. But the whole Camilla in general, I feel like I thought she kind of had a chance, but with these interviews, the Fox News interview and then with Obama and then Charlamagne the God, she is totally done tanked herself. I don't see her winning this election at all. Like she is just with the immigration policy questions that they kept bringing up, man, she has just shot herself in the fucking foot. It is, I think it's over for Camilla, and I'm glad that it is. And Obama's bitch ass trying to wag his finger at black folks, trying to tell us who we need to vote for, like he's our daddy or something. He's got a lot of nerves on top of that. I feel like everybody that's just coming to our defense is just making it worse for her campaign, which I'm glad to see.
Yeah, I agree. And shout out to Mysterious Beauty. Thank you for subscribing. Mysterious Beauty says, I just subscribed. I like your calm, informative channel so far. I appreciate that. Hell of a compliment. I try to do what I can. But Curtis, just to give you some context on Desmond, maybe 20 minutes or so, he came into the live chat, and actually, I think I have everything saved here in my StreamYard. Let me just scroll back. You guys call me the king of receipts after all, right? So I'm just playing these replays about, some of the content that I've done on Kamala Harris recently. And then Desmond started off with some interesting comments. Here's one. This is exactly what Trump wants, division, and you're giving it to him.
Which you are.
Nightbreaker. All right, Desmond. I let you do like 5 minutes uninterrupted, so just remain on mute until we bring you back in. Come on. Levels of decorum here. Then the next one is he was addressing some guy in the chat called Nightbreaker. Let me see if I can actually pull up Nightbreaker's comments. Yeah, Nightbreaker said, I would never vote for any woman. Why would we send a lady to negotiate with Vladimir Putin? To which Desmond says, Nightbreaker, I would never vote for any woman. Why would we send a lady to negotiate with Vladimir Putin? That's a Trump talking point.
What?
To which Nightbreaker said, I don't like when people say, quote, that's a talking point. Either it's true or it's false, bro. To which Desmond responded, Nightbreaker, you are literally quoting Trump's direct words. It's a talking point. You are no better than Fox News with their lies. To which Nightbreaker responds, oh, wait, hold on. Before Nightbreaker gets a chance to respond, Desmond comes back with a, if you don't like it, then type something that's not racist or a direct Trump quote. Damn, I didn't know Nightbreaker was being racist. I mean, sexist a little bit, maybe, but all right. Trump Breaker is a racist now. We don't even know, or excuse me, I said Trump Breaker. I can't even read. Nightbreaker is being accused of racism now. We don't know Nightbreaker's ethnicity or anything about them, but Desmond thinks that that comment was racism. Desmond says, Nightbreaker, you're literally quoting Trump's direct words. It's a talking point. You are no better than Fox News or their lies. And, you know, Desmond just dropped off. I'm not sure why. Maybe he'll click the link and call back in. I mean, he's the star of the show tonight. He wanted it this way. Let's see what else we've got. Desmond then said, if you don't like it, then type something that's not racist or direct Trump quote. Oh, yeah. The Nightbreaker said, now the personal attacks. You are doing what every liberal does when they can't answer the question. So the New Era jumps in. Desmond, can you drop me some links of some documents of Trump trying to deport us, bro? I couldn't find any info on that, and I looked for it, bro. And how are you doing today? And you know what? New Era was saying that to address some other crazy Desmond comments on another stream. I think yesterday or the day before, Desmond said some shit about Trump was trying to deport us. So, you know, New Era was following. Yeah. Those were Desmond's words, not mine. So then New Era was just, you know, asking if Desmond ever got some receipts on that. Desmond follows up with, I know you don't like Harris, Mike, but this is no different than what Fox News and what MAGA does. At this point, just label your channel MAGA Talking Points. Mind you, the video that we were reacting to was Candace Owens researching Kamala Harris's genealogy. Background. And somehow that has anything to do with Donald Trump. I mean, we're not mentioning Trump at all, but Kamala Harris supporters just always gotta make it about Trump.
Right. And so did she.
And then Desmond followed it up with, and New Era, take my wrench away. So he's asking for his moderator wrench.
Right.
Yeah, he wants his moderator wrench to be removed because he's mad that we're looking into Kamala's genealogy. Yeah, he's doing a fucking boycott. I'm not going to moderate anymore. Okay, take my wrench away. I'm like, so the whole time I'm watching this shit, I'm just rolling the blunt. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in my chat right now, yo? So then I finally respond. Oh no! And then Desmond, after he asked for his mod wrench to be taken away, he says, I don't think I can condone this anymore.
What is he condoning though?
I don't know. Us looking into Kamala Harris's genealogy, which is funny because the only reason we're looking into her genealogy is because she made it her main running point, right? I'm the first Black Asian, blase, 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 blue. If she never made that her main shtick, we wouldn't look into it.
Right.
But I respond to Desmond. Yeah, I respond to Desmond. I said, I should rename my channel because you have a disagreement with someone in my chat, LMAO. Because, yeah, I was really confused with why he's telling me my channel should be called MAGA Talking Points. So the New Era is like, the fuck are you talking about? I asked you a question, Desmond. Desmond then says, Mike, actually, my disagreement is with you, Mike. You have valid talking points, but it's blended in with false words. And it's such a shame that Desmond fled the stage because maybe he can tell me what these false words I've said are. But all right. So after the false words comment, he says, out of all the people in the chat, I've been with you since day one, but this is dividing, ... How many ways can you tell us you're in your feelings without just saying I'm in my feelings? I mean, it's dividing that you're watching a replay of a 2-week-old stream I did looking at a Candace Owens video about Kamala Harris's genealogy. Oh, okay. All right. Cue the baby violins. Whew. Then Desmond, I didn't even catch this comment. Then Desmond said, I thought we're supposed to be uniting the black community, not dividing it. Get the fuck out of here.
What?
I ain't
Yeah.
never said my mission and manifesto is to unite the black community. God damn it. You putting a lot of weight on my shoulders, okay? I am an entertainment. I provide you guys the news,
He
some
started to sound like
exposés.
old dude, Devin and Tariq that
Yeah.
that you had to get rid of. What was his name?
Yeah.
You're getting bad, man. It's getting bad.
So then I responded, Desmond, then list something I said that you have a disagreement with. I'll wait. He says, Mike, one thing is the fact is the dogs and the cats thing in Ohio. That was debunked by a 65-year-old white person. Okay, so first of all, the dogs and cats thing wasn't debunked because I did a whole stream where we literally reacted to the body cam footage of a woman being arrested in Ohio for eating a fucking cat. For two, we reacted to the 911 call of a man making a report of Haitians stealing geese and ducks from the local park.
Yeah.
So, like, put all that aside, though. How on one hand is Desmond like, let's unite the black community, but on the other hand, he's like dick riding white people. Like, wait, it's debunked because a 65-year-old white person said it. So wait, first, they have super seniority because of their age, and then the fact that they're white on top of 65 means fuck the 911 call, fuck the body cam footage I saw. Some 65-year-old white dude said something, so Desmond's running with it, and he's gonna shame us. Okay.
I mean, that's just like a typical Camilla supporter, it's really just all emotion. You know what I'm saying? It's like fuck facts, is just how I feel about a person. I can't vote for Trump because it's just Trump. Like, who gives a fuck?
And it's
man?
so
Like,
funny because they say when you're in the public sphere of influence, like I am, any good PR person will say never discuss religion or politics because it's too divisive. So it's interesting how, if you notice, I really don't discuss politics like that. I mean, the only reason why we really talked about Kamala Harris is because it has to do with her cosplaying our community, and I'm a full-time genealogist, and she's lying about her family heritage. So it's like a intersection of common points that I address. But by and large, I'm not a political channel. I'm not endorsing anybody. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't vote on a national scale. So for me to not really even touch on politics that much, and still we get somebody else so triggered, I mean, I guess we're going to lose a couple people. Go ahead and cue the baghorns. But I responded to Desmond. I said, how was that debunked when I reacted to the body cam of a woman being arrested for eating a cat, and I reviewed a 911 call of Haitians abducting geese from the park? Desmond goes on to say, the other thing is Kamala Harris, even though I know she isn't black, she's planning for everyone. What the fuck does that mean? Like, any president is supposed to plan for all Americans. Like, what you don't think? I don't even know, but what I guess Trump isn't planning for everyone. He's just planning for what racist white people in trailer parks. Let Desmond tell it. I mean, okay.
Nigga voters.
All right. She's planning for everyone. In order for communities to get things, is to come together, not fight each other. Oh my gosh, it's like weird, like Democratic shill slogans. I just feel like this is Obama, yes we can, all over again.
Right.
Like,
we'll all come together and hold hands and what the fuck? Like, and then hug the immigrants, the illegal immigrants.
Yeah, like you don't want to touch on that part at all, though.
Yeah, right. Come on, man. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Shit.
So then Desmond says, Mike, or actually, let me highlight Nightbreaker's comment. It was a pretty good one. He says to Desmond, every black person don't think the same. Some of us have different morals and principles, Desmond. Desmond goes on to say, Mike, I know who you are, Mike. I also have receipts too.
Oh.
And instead of showing those receipts, he came up here, ranted for 5 minutes uninterrupted, and then fled the stage. All right, Desmond. That was a hell of a way to end a 3-year gathering, as he put it. Anyways. Oh, and then he tells me I just lied. What did I lie about? We'll never know. We'll never know. Hey, if his lady was nearby, I'd tell her to pop him and set him straight. But I don't think she's nearby right now. I think he's just drunk at home. So then I said, Desmond, I said, Desmond, I don't know why you're trying to force your political ideals on people and why you're so sensitive about people not agreeing with you. He says, give me a second, get the video where Trump wants to use the U.S. military to take out the deep state or the enemy within. Listen, it's the same lies Fox News is telling. Like, Like, why does every Democrat, in order to like bolster Kamala, they have to assassinate Trump's character? Like, it can't just be about Kamala's done such good things and she was a great prosecutor and a
what is
great
she
vice
planning to
president.
do as
It's
president?
it's always fear mongering. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
always some
vote for Trump. Like,
Yeah.
bro, chill.
Okay.
Chill.
And what else?
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing is why is either side, like, he's talking from a Democratic standpoint as if like black men in general give a fuck about both sides. Like, we're not cheerleading for either side. If anything, we're just gonna vote for our own interests at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You know, it's not that serious, bro. It's not even worth arguing about. I wouldn't even have brought any of that shit up in chat anyways.
I think one of the biggest things plaguing our community, other than the continuous fight for reparations, is the immigrants getting all these benefits and subsidies that should
Right.
be earmarked for Native Black Americans. So I know for a fact Trump's going to end that shit, and ICE is going to be patrolling the borders. So I
It's a
think if I
win-win
was
situation.
voting just based off that policy, I would go red. But
Better
I guess some
economy.
people are just gangbanging like 90s Bloods and Crips, and if it ain't blue, you know, can't do it.
Well, just in general, how they just deal with black people in general at the last minute. She's trying to come up with a plan for black men that affects everybody. It ain't just specifically for black men. Obama,
Yeah, that was the dumbest shit ever. Like a small business loan, like that everybody can take advantage of, but she's marketing it as if it's reparations for black men. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Like, we don't see through the bullshit. So yeah, I don't know anybody. It just disgusts me to see anybody even champion.
Hold on, we got a new era calling in. Before we bring him up, let's get through some more of Desmond's crashing out. I mean, Desmond was a long-term Russian sleeper crash out agent. Okay, he rocked with us for like 3 healthy good years, and then this nigga just decided to crash out over Kamala. Right, new era? This nigga short circuited.
Yo, I don't know what, dude, bro. I don't know what the fuck happened wrong. You gotta hear me, right? I don't know what happened wrong with my bro.
We wasn't saying nothing
Like-
about Trump. We never even mentioned Trump. This nigga come up here just angry about Trump and trying to shame us into liking Kamala.
Word, like that
Yeah.
shit had me tripping, bro. And I'm still want to know who the fuck trying to deport me, Desmond, because I know a whole bunch of old people and they watch nothing but the news and niggas don't even fuck with Trump. And I had to ask a whole bunch of Trump haters like, "Hey, this nigga trying to deport us?" And they looked at me like I was crazy. So where the fuck are you getting this information, brother, man? That's all I want to know.
I
give a fuck
don't
if you in your
follow
feelings or not.
politics. I don't follow politics that closely, but being a content creator, I have to kind of stay in the know of what's going on. So I feel like if Trump said he's gonna deport us, I'd hear about that shit. Like,
right.
Hey,
too,
I
like,
don't
nigga,
follow
I'm black.
politics. Hey, I don't follow politics,
would.
but I know Obama came out and tried to shame us into fucking with Kamala. So, like, if Trump said he was
Right.
gonna deport us, I'm pretty sure word would get to Mike some way.
Shit, I don't fuck with politics either, but I heard that nigga Biden say we ain't black if we don't vote for him.
Right.
But niggas still running around like we ain't got no choice. We gotta vote Democrat. Nigga, you just had a race. I heard Curtis talking about a racist ass white dude. In my head, this bitch is just a racist ass white dude too. Ain't no way she was Joe Biden VP. This racist ass cracker said we ain't black if we don't vote for him. We crashed out and made this nigga quit. And then she put up a black person that we just supposed to forget what the fuck he said. Nigga, you told us we ain't black if we don't vote Democrat. Fuck you, Democrats. How about that?
Right.
I ain't black. I'm copper now.
Even
Yeah,
Biden
I'm
didn't
original
really
American.
support
I'm
Kamala.
copper. I'm not black. I'm not voting Democrat. How about that? Since everybody believe we only got 2
And
choices.
Biden got
Then
that
we-
Haitian immigrant ass bitch who be talking at the White House on his behalf,
Oh, yeah,
deflecting
yeah.
reparations and shit. Yeah.
But it's like Biden's been laying in the cut. He don't want nothing to do because they essentially they threw him under the bus. You know what I'm saying? They turned his back on him and got him about that presidential seat. So he don't feel any type of way about them either. Period. So it just shows you how shady the Democrat Party is in general. You know what I'm saying? Just how they
real
did
quick,
Biden. So it's just like, why are y'all sitting there trying to make us manipulate us into believing that they're all for the people? We're all going to come together and hold hands. The motherfuckers is just as shady as it's the Republicans is. If that's the case.
Hold on, guys. Hold the phone. Let's try to hurry up and get through the last of Desmond's crashing out chat messages, and then we can finish conversing. So then Desmond said, I'm waiting for new info, something that can ding Kamala Harris, but you're trimming the bush, not hitting the heart. What the fuck kind of euphemisms?
I'm trying to come to the comment where I seen where he was crashing out. I'm like, is Desmond
Hold
crashing?
on, bro. Hold on, but I gotta read that again. He's waiting for info that can ding Kamala Harris, but I'm trimming the bush and not hitting the heart. That sounds like her tethered coconut falling out the tree talk. Like what the hell is going on? Come on.
You're trimming. I
Let's
don't
keep it
even get it.
going. Desmond then said, bruh, so I am the enemy because I don't agree. This is the division I'm talking about, Mike. Guys, where did I say he was the enemy? Oh, wait, here's my comment I wrote before he said that. I was talking to melanin runs through my veins. I said, you came at a good time. We're just losing Desmond because he's upset. A lot of people in the chat don't support Kamala. So then he took that comment and is saying that I'm saying he's the enemy and I'm causing division. Oh, okay. All right. He then says to Nightbreaker, I support your First Amendment as a veteran, but
I think he's
wrong
been
is
drinking.
wrong. I mean, I think so.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
I think
Hey,
so.
after talking to Curtis enough, I know the signs of an
Right.
alcoholic. Okay, I know the signs. Desmond said, "Mike, this is how you want to end a 3-year gathering." Hey, it's like all of us have been linking up every springtime at a cabin in the woods to drink and kayak, and now I'm just fucking it up. I'm just gonna ruin it all.
You're
Over
in the
Kamala.
campfire, Mike. Come on, man.
I should have never reacted to that video that Candace Owens put out. God damn it. He says, new era. I was typing my piece. I don't put a gun to your head and demand you to vote blue. That's not my style. But
How long
since
has this been going on? Since you made
he
the
was
podcast?
crashing out for like the last hour. No, it was like the last hour.
Wow.
So right now,
No. Correction. He been crashing out for like the past 3 days.
Oh yeah,
This is the first time he's
you're
starting
right.
to talk
The past
about
3 days, yeah, there has been multiple days. But right now in California, it's 7:49 p.m. This message that's on the screen right now was 6:27 p.m. So you see, this was like a good hour and a half, 2 hours today. But this has been a multi-day thing. He's been on a bender. And then the new era said, and you come attacking me yesterday. I asked you for proof, and you sent me YouTubers' opinions, Desmond. Yeah, because Desmond yesterday was trying to say that Trump wanted to deport us or some shit, and he couldn't show us no evidence. So Desmond says, new era, the same thing that pops up on Mike's receipts. This will never be solved. Well, what's my receipts got to do with this? I don't even know what the fuck that means. What? I don't even know. Don't you muddy the waters by mentioning Mike's receipts.
He's speaking in riddles and tongue and shit. Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
So then Nightbreaker, and by the way, I've never seen Nightbreaker in my chat before, but shout out to Nightbreaker for being a level-headed, new viewer. Nightbreaker's like, bro, you can't come into someone else's house and tell them how to operate. What are you thinking? Because mind you, at this point, Desmond's already told me I need to rename my channel to MAGA something. He's demanding us to take away his mod wrench. He's calling me a liar and questioning my receipts, and all because we're looking into Kamala Harris's genealogy. Okay.
Yeah, like I didn't know he was even a Kamala fan for real. I'm surprised.
I didn't even know the nigga was a Democrat. I told you I don't even talk politics on my shit. Yeah, so I'm just like, bruh.
You kind of
I don't give a fuck what you is. Just don't be coming at people talking about, oh, this and this and y'all falling for a trap. Nigga, you falling for a trap if you talking about this nigga gonna fucking deport us. And even if that's the case, nigga, we from the same. How many motherfuckers try to deport us and we still don't business, bro? If you're afraid of that, stop trying to fucking
hold on.
Hey, hold on. Let me stop turning my fucking camera. Desmond? Stop fucking trying to fearmonger people with that dumb ass shit talk about Trump gonna demote us if you don't got no goddamn proof. Cause that's all that is fucking fearmongering. And since niggas falling in the trap, I'm not political. That damn show sound like a Democrat fucking tactic to fucking get black people scared and vote for them.
Hold on. I didn't even see this shit until right now. Hold on, I didn't even see this till right now. I told him over an hour ago now. I said, call in or don't. I'm not tripping. You suggested we take away your moderates. You mentioned ending a quote unquote gathering. Call in or hold your peace. Right? And the reason why I said this is because the earlier message I already told him was, bro, you tweaking. I'm rolling a blunt. I'm not going back and forth with you. So then he kept leaving comments. So then I told him, hey, call in or forever hold your peace. So guess what this dumb motherfucker said to me? I didn't even read this shit till Reddit. If I actually cared, which kind of shows how callous of an individual I am, because, you know, he has been around us for 3 years and stuff. But if you're a fucking crash out, you know, and you just show it to us 3 years later, I mean, that's not on us. We just learned you were a crash out late. You feel me? If you crashed out early on, it would have never got to the 3-year mark. But this dumb motherfucker responded. I'm just keeping it a bug, right? Like come on. It's not that I can just so casually end a long, you know, relationship, but it's like, nigga, if you're a pseudo weirdo, then you should have just told us this earlier. I mean, I'm not saying you need to wear a yellow star or anything like that, but we need some identifying marks on you weird niggas, okay? I'm just saying. So then Desmond's dumbass said, Mike, then I'll hold my peace till you are not high anymore, because I'm not coming at someone who's smoking blunts. Wait till your high is done, then we can talk. Okay.
What?
All right.
What?
Damn.
I didn't know
I need to be high
weed made you
about
retarded,
this
Mike.
dumbass
You
shit,
couldn't
bro.
I'm about to roll up another one in honor of that comment.
Facts, me too.
I'll tell us again, we are start making some sense. All that damn weed's gone to your head.
Maybe this
nigga's
motherfucker
over there
should
drunk as
smoke
fuck.
weed. If I'm so cool, calm, and collective and shit, and I'm so high and shit, then maybe he needs to smoke some weed, because he's been up here just showing his ass for the last couple of days, and we ain't did nothing to him.
Must be going through something. Yeah, I'm shocked. Yeah.
Not at all. This nigga been attacking me for the past 3 days, and I still been trying to talk to my bro like he was my bro.
Well, that's what I said. It looked like you and New Era, you was like, y'all was going back and forth with the comments, and I'm like, is this legit? I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I
been
literally
Yeah, what, you seen it earlier today or the other day?
No, I just
That
I
Kamala
didn't know
shit
what was
has
going on. I'm
reached a
talking about
fever
today.
pitch.
Yeah, like, bro, like, you can't say nothing. Oh, you fall for a trap. See, nigga, what trap? I'm a grown ass man. I ain't fall for no fucking trap since I was fucking 15. That's why I didn't register as a Democrat nor a fucking Republican, because I know both of they fucking games. That's why I'm a fucking independent. But according to y'all motherfuckers that's black and so fucking fearful, you only got 2 choices. If we hold up, for all the motherfuckers who think we only got 2 choices, so why is it my party whipping both of y'all parties' asses in like 3 of the most major states or swing states if we only got 2 parties and only 2 choices? The fucking Arab Americans nut up or shut up, and they told the Republicans and the Democrats to suck a dick. We going independent. But for some way, for niggas like Desmond, you only got 1 choice. Get the fuck out my face with that dumbass fear-mongering shit, but this is 2024, bro. Wake up or shut up. And
Hey,
stop fucking doing the Democrat shit.
Now that I'm finally caught up on Desmond's crash out messages, let's see what the chat's saying recently. Real Folks says, or Real Flocks says, he's right. Kamala doing everything for everyone except black people. Monique says, Kamal is Hershey really, really strong jawline. I'm just saying. It took me a minute to get that one. Mysterious Beauty says, all that you're saying, Mike, that he said sounds like exact words from Harris's typical script. We've all heard that word salad before. I'd rather see the informative Candace Owen video instead. Yeah, I feel you. Monique says Kamal was the same person that sent 1,500 or more men to jail. And wasn't she the same person that tried to convict the mother of a sick child? Yes, I ran through those receipts too. She had her and tied up in litigation for over a year. They was homeless and shit. It was fucked up. It was real fucked up. Mysterious Beauty says, I'm a woman and I didn't like Obama insulting black men the other day, like your misogynistic slave children that better obey him. Yeah, and this motherfucker Kenyan raised by Rothschild elitists in Hawaii.
Right.
Like, fuck out of here. Monique says California is supposed to be through with Kamal. Issues and Views says I have to hear it from Trump himself before I believe that he's going to deport African Americans. Yeah, that's like the dumbest fucking crazy fear-mongering fucking title ever. Like, what the fuck?
And he's about to be an election
Y'all
coming
want
up.
to
He's talking about deporting black people.
The same
hold on,
nigga who
Curtis.
just
I'm about to
freed
make y'all niggas
Kodak
laugh.
is going to deport us. Okay.
Hey, I'm about to make y'all niggas laugh though. I asked my grandma because, like, you know, I know niggas like in their 70s, 75s and shit, right? I asked all the OGs I know who've been watching news for like the past 30 years and know this nigga Trump for like since he was little. I said, hey, y'all heard about this deportation shit about trying to get us out the country? I said one of my homies told me about this shit. And you know what my mama said? Is this nigga Haitian who's saying this shit? African? Like on some real shit. I ain't even trying to be funny, bro. I was just like, no, ma, I think he's one of us. He got black for now. She was like, no, you sure he ain't Haitian? So I find it funny, mighty funny. My mom thinking this nigga, Desmond is Haitian for saying some dumbass shit like that, bro. I just wanted to
Hey,
say that.
and shout out to Nightbreaker.
Go ahead.
Hold on real quick, Curtis. I'm almost caught up. Nightbreaker said, I was here when you first started going live. I'm just always working. Well, shout out to Nightbreaker. We need to see you in the chat a little bit more. It's nice having some level-headed people in the building.
I'll be seeing him in the chat sometimes.
And if you stick around the chat a little bit more, you may inherit Desmond's moderate she lost, okay? With great power comes great responsibility. If someone has a different political ideology as you, just let them speak their truth in the chat, okay? It's just like, right? Hey, at one point, when Desmond first started going at Nightbreaker, I thought, like, am I going to have to take Desmond's wrench? I literally went to YouTube and checked my chat because I have it on like an open mode where like if anybody gets blocked or timed out, like everybody can see it. So I went to the YouTube to see if Desmond had timed out Nightbreaker because I was like, with the way Desmond's tweaking, like I could see him abusing his privileges to silence a nigga. So I was already like feeling a little shaky about Desmond's mod wrench moving forward. But hey, he said take it away from him, so we took it away. You asked for it, nigga. You asked for it. Real Fox says, Democratic supporters should ask themselves, what have they done for them for the past 62 years? Black specifically, yeah. Stogie says, Des been tripping lately. Yeah, you've been seeing it, Stogie, haven't you? Haven't you? Melanin says, I didn't know he was showing his ass in the chat like that. Des has always had a chip on his shoulder. Yeah. It's kind of shown like once in a while, you know, it rears its head. But last couple days,
Yo, my nigga
really
came at me 2 days straight in a row, bro. Like, what the fuck is on your mind, Desmond?
Yeah, like unless he's
L.
been
Franklin.
he's been having these feelings this whole time. Like that's what was shocking me about it. He never came off like he was a Democrat or anything. So because we made videos, you made videos like this for the last couple of years, and it's just like now he's crashing out. And that's what I was surprised about. I'm like, I didn't know this nigga was a Democrat.
Word.
Hey, Oakview.
Nigga, I
Nice
know
to see you,
Democrats.
Oakview.
Democrats don't even crash out like that, bro.
Right.
Hold on, guys. Time out. Speaking of crash out, let's go ahead and bring it full circle. Now, on the chat, now that Curtis and everybody on the panel knows all the crash out text messages, let's see how fair and balanced and neutral I treated this ignorant ass nigga and see how long he ranted and babbled about nothing on my platform. Watch this shit. So after he said all that shit, he finally calls in, and this is what Desmond got to say.
Florida. And I think it's time for us to reach a middle point here, Mike. I mean, we're literally on two sides of the fence here.
And hold up. I'm not an asshole. I'm just curious. Let me go ahead and start a stopwatch on my phone because I swear I let this nigga rant for like 5 minutes straight uninterrupted. It was a long ass fucking time. It was so long that I started to type messages in the chat like, yeah, y'all, he just called in the vent. You know, I don't think he's gonna ever let me respond, right? But hold on, yo. Let me get the stopwatch ready. Stopwatch setting. Here we go. Reset. All right. Let's see how long I let this nigga speak uninterrupted. I'm such a gracious host, aren't I?
I'm calling in from Florida, and I think it's time for us to reach a middle point here, Mike. I mean, we're literally on two sides of the fence here. So I've been listening to you, and I have my opinions, but now that I've said my opinions, it's like you guys want to cut me. So we need to reach a middle point here, or something that we agree on. Like literally, I've seen everything you put up, and I believe everything you put up. I believe it to this point. But let's be honest here. We're literally voting between the two evils. As much as New Era is there in that chat saying there's multiple parties, we both know politics, Mike. We know how politics work. In all fairness, there's multiple parties, but when it comes
We'll
down
respond to that after this.
there's only two parties left out there. And I hate to say it, it's disgusting. Politics are very disgusting about that. And it's always been that way. But it shouldn't cause a division between people, man, including us. Even though we have different opinions, I still respect your opinions. So that's why I'm just asking you to just kind of understand even where I'm coming from, even though I might be on the other side of the fence. Now, just because I'm on the other side of the fence and I have my opinions does not mean I'm automatically blue. I'm not blue. It's just that, I'm sorry, I can't vote for Donald Trump, man. I just can't. It's ridiculous, and I don't like to vote for her. But there's literally, honestly, there is no other choice. If you don't vote, it's going to go to him. And if you do, she's still going to screw us over. They're both going to stab us in the back.
That's what doesn't make sense.
That's basically what I'm trying to get at. We can sit here and talk about both of them, left and right. We can both talk to our faces, black and red. But it's not going to change the fact that all of this shit is fucked up and it's corrupted, and this is a tool for division. It's one of the biggest division tools that's out there. We both know this. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit, and I'm listening to what you have to say, Mike, because I've been listening to you, and I do still agree with you even all the way to this point. But even with me agreeing with everything that you have said, I still have found other sources. So I'm neutral. I'm not on either side. I'm not for blue and I'm not for red. But just because I have a disagreement with you guys doesn't mean I'm automatically buck riding for Kamala Harris. I don't like her as much as you guys. She's an immigrant. She literally is. Her grandfather is a freaking slave owner. You think I really want to go for someone that's like that? Or do I want to go for someone who constantly has Putin on speed dial? How do you choose anything good when both sides are evil? That's basically what I'm trying to get at with all
And why
you
are you
guys.
defending her so
Both
much?
sides are a piece
This
of shit,
nigga,
but
man.
we don't have anything else.
Is he still in the room?
That's it. Yeah, and I did call in to just say my opinion. It wasn't just venting. It's just an opinion. If you agree with it or you don't agree with it, that's fine. I understand that. So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. And I just wanted to listen in. The reason why I still continue watching you now is because of what I have established with you for the past years, man. I still respect your opinion, but it would be nice to, get the same.
You're not respecting his opinion, Mike.
You can talk, Mike. It's your show.
Oh,
It's your
okay,
show.
okay. I wasn't sure if you were finished with that monologue there. All right, guys, hold on. So let's play the guessing game. Do you guys think that was under 5 minutes or over 5 minutes? Curtis, you vote first.
Shit. Over? I don't know, man. He's just babbling.
All right, New Era, do you think it was under or over?
Say he's still my dog. I'm gonna go with the under. It was close to 5, but it's under 5.
New Era got it. It was about 4 minutes 20 seconds. 4:20.
I know it.
Hey, so after all that bullshit he spoke in my chat, I let him rock out uninterrupted for damn near 5 minutes, and really he say a whole bunch of nothing. Kamala, yeah, she's not black, but Trump, Putin on speed dial. What the fuck does Putin have to? Putin ain't never did nothing to me.
If you don't vote, then the vote's gonna go to Trump automatically. What the fuck is he talking about? Like,
I mean,
mongering, bro. That's what Democrats do, bro.
Yeah,
we don't want a Red Dawn scenario. We don't want Russians parachuting from the fucking skies. I mean, we don't want our children to be reading Russian textbooks in school. But at the end of the day, Russia ain't really did shit to us like that, especially not no black folks. Matter of fact,
Hey, yo,
didn't they
Mike
just
and Curtis, I got a
unveil
question for
a
y'all.
bunch of
too.
Black Madonna type shit, or that Jesus was black or something not too long ago, right?
Right.
Word. But, for all the people talking about we only got 2 parties, right? I got a question for y'all because I'm the dumbest motherfucker I know. I don't know shit according to most people. But
Yeah,
since we
you're the
only got
dumbest
2
motherfucker
parties,
I know too.
yeah, I just don't know shit. But why is
No,
it the independent party is winning and beating Trump and Harris in like 3 major swing states? But when you say independent and you got more than 2 choices, why is it people like Desmond talking about, no, you only got 1 choice? Bro, that is called freaking fear mongering, bro. Do you know who do that shit? Fucking Democrats. If you don't vote for me, the country's gonna fall. Nigga. Stop it.
Bro, I
Get
got
some
caught
help.
up in that shit once in my life and never again. The first time Trump
Word.
was running First time Trump was running, you know, I was really on my outdoorsy prepper shit, and everybody was acting like it was fucking Armageddon because Trump won out the blue. And I remember I let that fear mongering actually get to me for a moment, and I was thinking about different plans of actions and methods of insurance that I can have for me and my family. And then when the dust settled and we realized, oh wait, that was just politics as usual, ain't shit really changed. Oh, right, that's what they're here to do. Get you emotionally invested. And Desmond was a perfect example of a political puppet, a political drone. I mean, he literally said verbatim up here, like, there's only two options. I'm like, I don't want to vote for her, but I can't vote for him. And then if I can't vote for him, then I gotta vote for her. And I don't want to vote for her, but I gotta vote for him, and I can't vote for him. Like, bro, like that's what they want you to think, that you're forced into two options, and both options are fucked up.
Yeah, it was an emotional rant, you know what I'm saying?
And we independents up here like, yo, nigga, come over here on the West Coast. We good, nigga. We don't fuck with y'all. Yeah, like, no, nigga.
SD. Thank you, SD. People act like Trump wasn't in office before. Y'all motherfuckers acting like y'all wasn't on Trump's dick when he was passing out $1,200 stimmy checks. Stop the cap. Trump was your man when he was passing out them checks. Come on.
Trump, I still ain't get mine.
But your ass got that PPP loan, didn't you?
I ain't get none of that shit. You got me fucked up.
Allegedly. We
know,
won't talk about that publicly. I don't think the statute of limitations.
Nah, we talk about that shit, nigga. That's what's gonna biggest that lows. Nigga, what? Go to jail. I'm straight. I'll be broke for the rest of my life. I don't like jail, big dog. I don't need fee money that much. I don't like money. I like my freedom.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we watched somebody crash out live and direct over politics. I mean, I wasn't even really making a political broadcast. I mean, yeah, we're roasting Kamala just because she's trying to grift and pander and cosplay our culture. But other than that, I'll be the last one to tell you to vote one way or the other. I don't give a damn.
Right. I never even heard you say vote for Trump or a Republican or anything like that. That's all I say. I know.
If Trump was doing some dumb shit in the media, I'd be roasting him too. Matter of fact, I was pretty vocal about how I think the whole, quote unquote assassination was some orchestrated shit just to get us more invested emotionally into the political process. I mean, come on. So I'm down to critique both sides. Come on. Hey, if it turns out that Trump's genealogy reveals that he's a descendant of fucking plantation overseers, then we're gonna do some streams on that as well. I mean, what the fuck?
I mean, I don't know, Mike. 3-year listener, man.
Damn.
3-year listener.
Mike's the devil.
3-year gatherings now
Yeah,
over.
the gatherings are over.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's bow our heads.
About to tell his chickie, like, you better not ever watch another Mike video.
Yeah, they about to break up if he catch her watching me. Right. She about to be sneaking to the bathroom to catch me. Guys, we need to bow our heads and have a moment of silence. We just lost crashed out sleeper agent among us. We didn't know we had a Democratic shield, a political puppet. We didn't know we had a sheeple, a part of the flock. Let's bow our heads. Let's have a moment of silence and allow these tunes to not only serenade our souls, but also give a proper farewell to what was once and is now lost. Here we go, y'all. Bow your heads. Moment of silence. I'm not joking. We really lost something here. I think him and his lady donated like $50 a month to my platform, okay? Moment of silence. Put your lighters in the air. R.I.P. Desmond. You was cool till you wasn't. If your lady is watching, pop that nigga for me. This is the closing credits. This is the closing credits to our interactions with Desmond. We'll see you in another live, brother. Thank you for your service again. Shout out to all the veterans out there. It's been real. 3 years down.
Another one bites the dust.
Hey. Well, guys, we have a position for a moderator open. I need a 3-year commitment.
You need to attend all the gatherings?
Yes. Yes.
Pass the collection plate?
And in this cult, you have to watch my broadcast and moderate with your significant other nearby. And she has to take directions from the cult leader, Mike TV. Whenever he wants her or him to harm you, then he will do just that. Okay, I'm on my nature boy shit. I'm telling you. I used to have Desmond on the platform. I'd be like, hey, Desmond, girl, slap him. And he gets slapped each and every time. That's how I run my cult, okay? That's how I run that cult. New era. For you to ascend to the next level, I need you to go to a warehouse with Curtis where he may diddle you a little bit.
What?
This is your initiation, okay? This is your initiation. Damn, he turned his camera off. Shout out to Monique. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Yeah, where is Monique from? And tell me I'm not butchering that name. I think I probably am. Philadelphia, born and raised. Fun fact, did you know the Philadelphia Museum of Art sits on top of an indigenous platform pyramid structure created by Black Aboriginals of the Mississippian mound builder culture? Sorry, guys, I had to get on my professor shit. You know, it is my day job. It is my day job after all. Did you know that the dusty Negro that we see on the bottom of the screen actually resembles some of the ancient Aztec and Mayan? Yeah, put that finger down, nigga. He was about to put me off, and he said, "Oh no, that's right, yeah." Oh shit! And this nigga's on mute still. Here, there you go. I got you on mute. There you go.
You ain't see my finger. You ain't see the finger coming up. I was trying to ask. It wasn't a finger.
Nah, nigga, I see that shit. 10 lashings for you, okay? Corporal punishment if you disobey the cult master.
I told you don't own slaves no more. That should stop them.
Hey, if I criminalize your behavior and mass incarcerate you, then your ass is a slave.
No, I'm black. I'm voting Democrat. Kamala said since we like to smoke weed, she's gonna say weed is legal now, so you can't get me.
That bitch literally used to prosecute niggas as a profession. Fuck out of here.
Crazy, bro. How the fuck you tell about you? Yeah, you ain't see that shit? I think it was yesterday and shit. When she was sitting in that sit down video, one of the ones that shit my grandma was watching, they asked her about weed. She was like, yes, we're in the process of trying to decriminalize it. We gotta talk to the DEA. Bro, I know your ass, man. You just try. As soon as I heard that shit, I was like, this bitch trying to get niggas to vote for her.
Monique says, actually, I didn't know that, but there are a lot of historical places here. Oh, yeah, very, very rich culture. Matter of fact, Monique, are your folks originally from Philadelphia? Or did you guys migrate from a different state or different territory? Because, yeah, Philadelphia, all East Coast, down south, Gulf of Mexico to Canada, that's Black Indian territory right there. Yeah. I'll do a whole segment about Philly during my genealogy consultations. Speaking of which, this is the great transition. Are you looking to discover your family's roots but don't know where to begin? New era. I need some help. Let's go ahead and create a fake commercial right now, okay? Say Mike TV changed my life. He taught me that I'm not from Africa. I'm a Niji. No.
Mike TV changed my life. He taught me how to sell 2 grams for $200.
I taught him how to step on the work. And he is not a paid actor, okay? He's not a paid actor, I promise. He's just a random nigga we just found right now. Oh, shit.
Yeah, these are all jokes.
Damn, I need to roll up another one. But on a serious note, for anybody that is not aware of the genealogy services that I provide, let's go ahead and hear from a couple I recently consulted with.
No, Mike is the real deal. His information is real. He's a humble brother, and he's all about the information. He's not about, personal gain or personal applause, personal credit. This is about our nation. It's not about one individual, but it's about us collectively as a people. And Mike is all about that, you know. So we stand behind the brother 100%.
If you have any doubt, get it out your head immediately. So yeah, like I'm going to continue to work with Mike as much as I can. So I want to say thank you, Mike, for actually taking the time out and talk with me and my husband. Like you definitely informed us on a lot of things. And the people out there that's watching, he will also inform you on a lot of things that you may not even know about. So I want to say thank you again, Mike.
DJ Khaled, another one.
Looking to get genealogy consultation, I highly recommend Mike. You know, he was very thorough, prompt, very knowledgeable. Even taught me some stuff about the background of Indian ancestry and heritage that I didn't know. The biggest piece of it is he taught me how to pull records and really dig into those records to make sure that I have things to match up to be able to take back for my citizenship. So I really appreciate everything he does, and I highly recommend Mike as your genealogist.
Another one.
My name is Javaris Johnson. I work in the oil and gas industry as a truck driver. I recently just did a consultation for my genealogy with Mike at Key Media Pro. It was awesome. A lot of great information. A lot of stuff I'm going to have to go back and digest because it was so much information, man. And it really got me, it really helped me to get on the path to enrolling with my tribe and learning everything, man. And it's just a great and awesome experience. You know, I encourage you guys, you know, if you're curious, to go out, do your family tree, and connect with your ancestry.
Hey Curtis. Curtis. You know how like niggas in the hood flex by taking a stack of money and holding it up to their ear as a phone?
Right.
Yeah, this is my equivalent of that. Okay, let me flex.
Question. It was a lot of informal information that was given. I am very extensive when it comes to history, so I think that it was great information because I learned quite a few things that I didn't know personally. I learned more in detail on some things that I did know as well. So I think that is a great part of the session, as well as getting an understanding of where you should start to finish. It was very helpful as far as starting off with just getting that family tree mapped out, and then from there going and finding those families within those different documents and different data systems. So I think that this was very helpful when it comes to giving me further ideas on what it is that I should be looking for while creating my family tree and mapping out my genealogy. And I truly, honestly appreciate your time.
Yes, let me flex, okay? I don't flex with material items, but by teaching my community self-discovery. Shout out to Monique. Monique says, my father's family is from Louisiana and my mother's side is from North Carolina. Yeah, during my genealogy sessions, I got a whole segment on Louisiana. Louisiana has conical mounds that they found ancient artifacts inside of. Louisiana has a rich history. The Creole people were formed there. I do a whole breakdown on not just Louisiana, but all the French territory before the Louisiana Purchase. But just for the road, we got one more.
Was very impressed. Okay, my jaw dropped plenty of times during this consultation, and I wish it didn't even have to end. It doesn't feel like it has been a couple of hours. I've just enjoyed this. I do recommend consulting with Mike about Native American ancestry, and I think that you will love it. I think that you will find the value in the information as I did.
Oh yeah, shout out to all of my recent clients and everybody going on that journey of self-discovery. And shout out to the Creole people. Yeah, I think I may have some Creole in my family too. On my mother's side, we go back to Louisiana. But New Era, what do you think about all this? Are you gonna cry yourself to sleep tonight knowing that Desmond may not be back?
No.
Damn, this nigga vocalizing up in this bitch.
Getting a high note.
This nigga got in his bag real quick. Okay.
When is the election? What date is it?
I don't even know. Isn't it in November always?
Yeah,
or
it's in
something?
November.
November 25th or some shit.
No, we gotta vote by November 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
So we have to vote by November 4th, but when do they actually draw the election? I guess count the votes or whatever. Is that towards the end of November? It's got to be before
November 5th,
Thanksgiving.
Stogie says November 5th. Yeah, Monique's on the
okay.
5th.
Okay, so that's when that's the last day that you. Okay, so that's when that's the last day that you can vote, or is that when when they decide who's going to become president?
Does it really
Hey,
matter?
I'm a street nigga. I have no idea. Look, that's the
Yeah.
funny thing about it, Desmond. I'm not political. I don't give a fuck about none of this. I give a fuck about my country and who's going to do it better.
No,
I don't give a
Desmond
fuck.
says that you're red and you're using racist Trump talking points, so you're red now.
Hey, wait, hold up, y'all. That's funny. They always talk about racism, right? But ain't Biden a racist too?
Hey, I heard that nigga used to run with the Klan.
And wait, hold up. And since the black people talking about all this shit, black people who talking all this shit about Trump, didn't y'all vote for a racist named Joe Biden? So I don't want to hear nothing about Trump being racist when all black people voted for fucking Joe Biden. Am I wrong or am I lying?
Yeah, I think Biden said, and I quote, "You ain't black if you don't vote for me."
No, I'm not even talking about that. You to go look up his paperwork. That nigga used to run with the fucking Klan, bro. And niggas still voted for him because they didn't want Trump in office. So I'm gonna use Desmond logic. So y'all rather want a racist than a black lady or whatever. So y'all rather have a fucking member of the Klan as fucking president than somebody's who might be racist.
It's like, do we want a dude? Do we want a dude who has some supporters that are in the Klan, or do we want a dude who really was in the Klan?
Exactly, bro.
Like, there's a difference.
Hey, nigga, you got a picture of Joe Biden shaking the Grandmaster hand, nigga, and y'all niggas still voted for him. And y'all out here talk about don't vote for Trump because he's racist.
Right. What sense
I
does
thought
that
I was the
make?
dumbest nigga I know.
Right.
I thought I was the dumbest nigga I know, bro.
I thought you were too, and then came along Desmond.
What you said?
I said I thought you were the dumbest nigga I knew too, and then came along Desmond.
Desmond just came out of character. He didn't had enough of you, your talking points against Camilla, and probably him talking to this chick.
I think Mike was right. Nah, like I don't even think it's a crash out. I just think motherfuckers get brainwashed by the media and believe everything they see on the fucking media. And what's that emotionally?
But that's against everything that we talk about in the room, though. That's what don't make sense. How you get caught up in the shit?
That what fucked my head up like 3 days ago.
Guys, don't try to make sense of it. We're sitting in a room in an abandoned factory. We're all wearing weird leather bondage-esque outfits with sunglasses on indoors. There's a telephone in front of us that's ringing.
I'm out.
We're getting ready to go back to the Nebuchadnezzar. And then all of a sudden, Desmond starts having a seizure and turns into Agent Smith. We don't ask why. We don't theorize how he got embedded with the virus. We just shoot that nigga. Hypothetically speaking. Hypothetically speaking, okay? We either shoot that nigga or we run away from him, okay?
Run away.
He said run away, no violence.
Yeah, I just did.
There comes a time in the Matrix, though, that even Neo has to stop running from the agents. And then they have that showdown in the subway.
Hey,
that was that subway showdown. Desmond just got whooped on. I just killed that nigga with the receipts.
I was honestly kind of disappointed, right?
Yeah.
You wasn't the only one, bro.
Like, I really didn't even like do him too
dirty
dirty or say anything like super egregious about him, but I just kind of killed him with the facts of his own poor behavior.
Yeah, but I was kind of disappointed, honestly, with it because, like, I thought he was gonna stick around and kind of give conversation to New Era or anybody else, and he just kind of like, I guess once you start bringing up the kindness he made, he hurried up and ran out of it. Yeah, he even. Y'all was going back and forth on the chat.
He ran off as soon as I ran the receipts on his comments, so he must have felt some kind of shame or guilt or something.
Yeah, he typed in. He said, "I'm not going to fall for this game. I'm out," or some shit. Wait, no, he said, "I know where this going. I'm not falling for this game. I'm out."
What you said?
Yeah, like nigga, what
if
game?
you ain't standing on business, then you ain't standing on business. Like,
there you go.
Anybody can take anything that I've said over the last 2 years and play the clip back to me, and I can explain myself, provide context, and give understanding. But some niggas can't stand to have the receipts played in front of them.
Hey, I need to know what document was filed that this nigga Trump said, "Yeah, if I get in the office, these niggas going back." That's what I want to know. Because I ain't never called you a liar before, Desmond, but I'm about to if you won't come with no fucking receipts about all this.
Damn,
Oh,
Monique, a
Florida.
real one. Monique said Harriet killed blacks that act like Desmond. Shit, let me go ahead and put my hate speech disclaimer up. But Monique, I concur. I concur. Hold on, I got a banner somewhere. YouTube be playing with me, okay? YouTube be playing. Here we go. Mike TV does not endorse hate speech against any protected group of people, regardless of ethnic background, sexual orientation, race, creed, religious preference, sexual orientation. Did I already say that? I got to look out for the LGBTQ plus squared community. Immigration status, political affiliation or ideology. I mean, viewer discretion is advised. Please don't give me another community guideline ban. YouTube, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I think I covered my bases, though. Our overlords are pleased. All hail the algorithm. All hail the algorithm. New Era, I'm going to need you to chop up some chicken heads tonight. Get to that root work. Need to get my views up.
Mama. Hey, you better ask Desmond. My mom said he was Haitian. I'm not African, dog. I'm married.
Wait. That's why he got upset about us talking about the Haitians eating pets. I get it now. This nigga been a tether the whole time.
Yo, but I find that shit mighty funny, bro, because I didn't even say. I just said what Desmond said and shit. My mom was like, yo, is he Haitian? Like, that shit had me rolling, bro. Like, my mom don't even know. Like, she hear me curse some Africans out before, but my mom would just say, is he Haitian or African? That shit had me rolling. I was like, nah, ma, I think he want to. My mom hit with me with one of me. She was like, nah, I think he might be Haitian.
What you should have said is, damn, mom, why are you being a xenophobic, divisive nigga? That's what they always call us.
My mom, hey, I live on a dirt road and shit with like half my family and shit. So even if I'm at my house, my mom, my cousins, everybody, they hear me if I have to curse somebody out. Every time my mom would call me, it's like, yo, who you been cursing out? I'm like, my bad, mom. Some dumbass Africans who don't understand. I tried not to. But yeah, that shit was too funny. She was like, yo, is he Haitian? I just started laughing. I was like, nah, ma, I think he one of us. He said he had Blackfoot. My mom was like, nah, he might be African or Haitian. So
I'm getting like secondhand offended by that. Like, damn, that's a real insult, and she didn't even know it. Like, you acting so out of character. She thought you was a Haitian, my guy.
Word, bro, that shit had me rolling, dog. That's how I knew Desmond was tripping, bro. My mom called this nigga a Haitian, dog.
And yes, Monique, we call people like that black Sambos, or I like to use the term jive turkey.
Jive turkey, yeah.
Thanksgiving is coming up. It's a jive turkey, yeah, nigga right there.
Yeah, he definitely, I mean, it's only a matter of time, you know. People show, I mean, I honestly don't think it was even worth it to crash out like at defending Camilla. That's what offends me the most. Is like you going out of your way to defend this bitch.
This bitch don't give a damn about you.
Yeah,
this bitch don't give a fuck about you.
Right. Like,
and you going in the 3-year gathering? You're gonna end a 3-year gathering over that Hindu bitch.
Over tether?
You know this Hindu bitch come between us?
Yeah, man. Like shit. This bitch cooking greens in the tub. You crashing out for this house?
Collard greens in the bathtub when she wants her ass. You gonna get mad over that? That's Desmond.
Red dot on the head, Kamala. Goop scoop Kamala.
4 years ago she was Southeast Asian. Now 4 years now she's black. You mad over that bitch?
Mass incarceration. Huh?
Oh my nigga.
Montel Williams side piece.
People got different opinions over you, bro. What the hell? Who's falling for a trap, Desmond? If we all have disagreements and different opinions, it'd still be cool. But your ass the only one up here all emotional.
It's okay. It's okay. Before we wrap up, I will extend an olive branch. Desmond, I know you're watching. If you sober up and come back to us like next week and say that you apologize for your behavior, then it's water under the bridge, okay? But we will look at you with bombastic side eye from here on out, knowing that you are a ticking time bomb who may turn into an Agent Smith at any moment. So you don't get the privilege of carrying firearms around us any longer.
No, he's still my dog.
Yeah,
I just know how to roast his ass.
It'll be all right.
I just ain't never known how to roast Desmond. Desmond, you know I'm.
And Miss Desmond, if you listening, Miss Desmond, if you can hear me, don't give that nigga no kitty catty hit a hotter for 3 weeks. Okay, he on probation. I'm taking away what he
Yeah, that
loves
ain't gonna hate
most.
your ass
Okay,
for real.
you was abstinent, girl. Listen to your cult leader, Mike TV. You are abstinent for the next 3 weeks. You are a born again virgin. He don't get no play until you come back and apologize, Desmond. That's the type of control that I have over my cult. You knew that when you signed up.
This motherfucker.
hey, I'm gonna fuck around and have new viewers who think I'm really serious and shit. What the fuck
Word,
did I
bro.
just walk
Like, what the
into?
fuck?
Oh damn!
You like, Mike, I need that wrench back. I apologize. I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Monique, just so you're
Yeah,
aware,
I don't give a fuck. Nobody vote for. That's don't tell nobody who the fuck.
Me neither.
Monique, by the 10th of
It's
next
up to
month,
you,
you need to send in your cult
saying no.
initiation dues of $2,000, your firstborn son, and we're gonna need a little blood sacrifice from you. So just go ahead and send in a vial of blood via PO box. New Era will collect it and do the root work, voodoo, conjuring spells, and then you will be initiated in the cult.
See,
Mike
senor.
wrench.
And we're still trying to find a position for Curtis in the cult, but I'm not sure what we're gonna do with him yet. I don't know.
Nah, he's still my dog.
You know how y'all always got that one nigga who just hanging around. You know, that's that one nigga in the cult. You know, he's just there. You know, he's just there.
Yeah, I think I missed a few of the gatherings.
Wait, you know, I've got a role for you. I'm gonna need you to sign some documents and don't ask no questions, okay? Just sign some documents. Just don't ask any questions. When the feds come and kick down the cult door, it's gonna all be in Curtis's name.
Yeah,
The
right.
Bentley, the Range Rover, the private jet. Curtis is going to a prison camp for 10 years, not me.
Yeah, man, it's crucial. It's crucial. But that election is coming up though, for real. It's just probably just a month away, honestly. And really, Trump hasn't been saying too much or nothing. Like he's done a couple interviews.
He
but
really has to. Like this bitch just crashing
exactly.
out like
She's
Desmond.
crashing out. Yeah,
her and all her supporters is crashing out. We just watching.
It's part of the reason why he's crashing out because she's just really been sinking herself with these interviews, man. That they completely slaughtered her on Fox News. I don't know why she went to Fox. I don't know what.
I haven't even seen that one, but tomorrow I'll do a live
Bro.
reaction to it.
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, you gotta come.
I seen that shit live. Shit. Hey, Desmond, that's why I said that was opinion, bro, because I seen that whole shit live and I asked you for a receipt. And all you did was send me a YouTuber that support Kamala Harris. I had to do the same thing. All I had to do was find a fucking Trump supporter and do the same thing. No, nigga. When I asked for facts and receipts, I want documents, I want bills, I want facts. I want to be able to go on dove.com and find what the fuck you talking about, bro. Not no fucking YouTuber with a fucking opinion, bro. Thank you kindly.
If you don't vote for Kamala, the vote's gonna go to Trump. He lost me right when he said that. I'm like, what is this nigga talking about?
Yeah, bro, that's Democrat shit. If y'all don't vote, Trump gonna win. How, nigga?
They acting like if Trump wins, the world's gonna come to the end. And just like what the dude in the comments said, it ain't like Trump has been president before. Nothing happened. He was already president for 4 years.
Hey, y'all don't remember whenever he was running, they did the same as that shit. If Trump ran, he don't like y'all black people. Yeah, it's gonna be shit down the hill for y'all black people. Yeah.
You gonna lock y'all up? Come on now, what happened? Nothing.
Y'all still doing the same
Biden
shit, bro.
office,
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And then favorite shit, who killed the bill? Nigga, Democrats and Republicans, bro. Don't act like it was Trump.
Yep.
Trump killed the bill. How the nigga killed the bill when Democrats and Republicans said build the wall? Then when they seen, wait, hold up, you want us to send another $100 million to Ukraine? Nah, fuck this bill. Republicans and Democrats said that shit. So why the fuck y'all Kamala supporters only talk about Trump killed the bill when Democrats and Republicans ain't like that shit? Make that shit make sense to me, buddy.
Facts.
I read the bill.
Well, with that
That's
said,
all
ladies
I'm
and
saying.
gentlemen, boys and girls, I've got a blunt to smoke, and I've got to finish this 20-part series on America being ancient Egypt. So I gotta go. Well, let's go ahead and do some closing remarks. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow.
All right,
cool. Stuff.
Yeah, I'll be off.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, Curtis, it looks like Desmond gave you a run for your money as far as the position of the local drunkard, right?
Yeah, he's still in my position, man. I don't appreciate that.
For real.
Why you gotta come back for your time tomorrow, my nigga?
Yeah, right. I gotta fit my title tomorrow night. Shit. It's Friday too. Yeah, he's
my,
just
my nigga hasn't been dropped for the past week, nigga.
I couldn't even believe
Like
y'all
as
been
soon
going
as
back and
Camilla
forth
started
that long
losing.
with this nigga, man. I came in here, I'm like, what is this shit?
Yeah, he
I
was
had to
slowly
stop that
crashing
shit, bro,
out.
because I'm asking this nigga cursing. As soon as fucking Cuz started saying that shit, here come this nigga Desmond. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Following somebody else. Nigga, I said the same shit. Don't try to act like you said what Deadpool said. Because whatever I said, no,
Randall, you a fool.
It's Democrats or what?
Randall said, Mike, did you get sunburned?
Just a little
Shit.
bit.
I got sunburned and I grew some dreads, Randall. And considering I now know you're a white man, that joke is borderline. It's borderline, but we gonna give you a pass.
No, it's not. Don't let him give you that white guilt, Randall. That
If
shit
we
was
were
funny.
some snowflakes, we would white guilt the how dare you colonizer. Randall, do you even
we
know
respect your
about
opinion over here,
do you
Randall.
even know about generational wealth inequality, Randall? Your great grandpa kept my great grandma from going to school, Randall. How dare you make a joke like that about complexion and melanin? No, I'm joking. This nigga Randall is about to die tonight of asphyxiation. You know them white boys be
Nah,
beating
Randall
their
been here
meat while hanging
Randall
themselves
been
with a
here
belt.
for a minute.
Yeah, Randall
know
he's
how
kind
to
of
be joking.
Randall's a little hood.
Yeah.
I think he be
Yeah, Randall that came in and had to curse a couple people out. Randall called them a
What you
couple
mean a
times
little
out.
bit hood? He straight gutter with it, okay? He gutter with it. You know which house is a trap house, which house is the money house, which house is a hoe house, okay? He good
Hey,
in them
Randall is a
streets.
pillar of his community. He will go and teach his kids to go play baseball and come in and curse our races out. Shout out to Randall. I remember that day. He was like, "Yeah, I just came in from coaching."
They only
say
say
that one racist ass dude.
yeah, they only say nigga in the house. They don't say it outside. You know, you gotta respect it.
This nigga Curtis. Not you, Randall. We talking about Randall.
Hey, for all we know,
Mr.
Randall's
Randall.
neighbors have given him the N-word pass, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
Barbecue. Yeah. Doing the Dougie in the back.
If you're white and you live in a certain level of poverty, you do get that pass apparently.
Only if you cool. No, don't make it seem like all white people get that pass.
Mm-hmm. You know, Randall just being cool enough to get him some coochie. He let him some black girls all his life. He said, man, when I go after some black girls, I got to interact with her cousins and uncles and brothers. Let me learn some shit.
I see you, Randall. Oh, Gary Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Shit. I forgot.
I would call Randall whatever Kamala Harris, or not Kamala, whatever Candace Owens' husband's name is, but I don't even know who that fool is.
Nah, nigga, you don't know who Gary Owens is? That little white comedian?
I know Gary Owen is. I'll say, and I don't know the name of Candace Owens' husband.
I don't even think I've ever seen him.
Oh, his name is George Farmer. Yeah, he's a George Farmer over here, trying to get him a little Candace, trying to get him a little candy Candace. That bitch is so unattractive. Oh my gosh. Some people, hey, to each their own.
Does Candace have her own channel now?
He was like, yeah, I want me a Negro bitch that I can do slave role plays with. Yeah. Oh my God, is this their this cannot be their biological child. Is this their biological child? That can't be their biological child. Hold on, I'm gonna put this shit up on the screen. You know what? I think this may be that is a nigga nose. Yeah. I think this may be the biological child. It came out albino. I thought my baby was white. Jesus. Look at this shit. Goddamn. Major La Raza, she was looking to whiten her race.
What?
I think this is what Candace is trying to do. Okay,
that's her kid.
Is that her biological? I mean, I know she's pregnant in this. Is that an inherited?
That's gotta
baby?
be his.
Hey, word on the street is he used to be married and he cheated on his ex-wife and had a baby with the nanny or the maid.
That's Camilla's husband.
Oh, that's Camilla. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm getting these tethers confused.
Yeah.
God damn it. Damn.
Yeah, he cheated with the nanny, got her pregnant.
The fuck, just let it go, my guy. What the fuck is going on in here? Just relax. That shit.
Who's that?
Go.
Anyway, go back, Mike. So that
Why is
picture?
this bitch just like the flag? This bitch just like a tired old flag. This bitch looked like a flag that was waving during that one battle they talk about in the Star Spangled Banner. Yeah, the banner was still there. Face says bitch. Like, damn. Oh Lord, this is a hell of a picture. Which photo did you want me to go back to? This one?
Yeah, who's that cracker?
Some creepy motherfucker. George Farmer's parents. I think Candace. This is Candace's husband's father, Lord Michael Farmer. He's a British businessman and peer in the House of Lords. So basically, she was pulling the Meghan Markle, huh? He's one of the most famous metal traders. Okay.
I think they said that her husband was cool with who's that one nigga, that red pill nigga that's been saying the N-word.
And I think he's bluish too. I think he's bluish.
I have no idea because I don't be watching none of
Who's
my
that dude?
Owen's husband.
He's biracial too.
Bluish. Hold on.
Wait, young dude.
Or is it Kamala's husband? I don't know.
Andrew Tate, yeah, they're cool. Her husband and Andrew Tate are cool.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I just say I got like 25%, 20% of black in me. Yeah, I just say that word. I know. I remember that motherfucker.
Well, I'm not sure if Candace's husband's family is bluish, but they are vocal about opposing anti-Semitism and they're supportive of Israel. Interesting.
Also, Mike, did you hear about Sir Major getting sentenced?
Who's that? Oh, the albino. Oh, he got sentenced finally. What happened? That motherfucker finally ain't gonna be on Twitter.
Yeah, Tariq hasn't said anything. I think he's got like 15 years or something.
42 months in prison. Damn, that's like 4 years, right? Around that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. We'll probably
This
get out
behavior. This nigga, I remember like it was yesterday. I was talking to him on Twitter Spaces, and he was trying to extort me for money, and I was like, "You mad weird?" He's like, "What you mean I'm mad weird?" And I'm like, "I don't know about you, but I heard you got some charges or some shit." And he's like, "Oh, I got some charges. What charges?" And that's just conspiracy. That's just conspiracy. Now this nigga locked up. I gotta do a stream on this tomorrow. Why is Tariq not talking about his boy that just got
a Toledo civil
locked
rights
up?
activist?
Oh, that's I know who y'all talking about now.
That's the motherfucker who be dick riding Tariq on Twitter space and shit. Yeah.
Convicted of wire fraud and money laundering was sentenced today. Court documents say Sir Major Page will spend 42 months behind bars. He was arrested in 2020 for fraudulently using a Black Lives Matter nonprofit organization by way of misrepresentations.
Birds of a feather flock together. I'm doing a stream on it tomorrow. Tariq Nasheed's right-hand man is in prison for BLM fraud.
I thought they meant had that motherfucker for it. So
no. He got charged with it like 2-3 years ago. He got charged.
Yeah, he just not.
But he just got sentenced. He just got sentenced.
So
this whole time, this bitch made nigga been spending his free time on Twitter Spaces, ranting and going back and forth with Africans, and this nigga had bigger things to worry about. I hope he was doing some taekwondo to protect his yams, because that was one zesty albino that they got going to the pen. Okay. That's one zesty albino. He called himself the sexiest albino alive. I saw that in some news article. I swear to God. Wow. Watch. I'm the king of receipts, right? Sir Major, sexy albino. World's sexiest albino TV star. This is what this nigga called himself. TV star turned Black Lives Matter activist who claims he's the world's sexiest albino. Yes, this is the type of zest that Tariq surrounds himself with. All right.
Another actor like Tariq.
Oh, we lost Curtis.
No, I'm still here.
All right, you said another what?
I said another actor just like Tariq. Film TV star turned with money laundering. What is he getting charged with again? What did he do?
He took like $500,000. So basically, when George Floyd and BLM was going on, he created GoFundMes and shit and said he was raising money for Black Lives Matter. And then he took like $500,000 and just used the money to buy a house and just buy TVs and frivolous shit. So.
Isn't that what the other two did? The ones that found the company, the lesbians?
Yeah, them too. Yeah, all of them.
So What's the difference?
Are
They
them
just
bitches
put the nigga in jail.
are they getting locked up too?
Right.
Yep. He scammed people in 2020. He created a social media and GoFundMe pages under the name Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta, and he exploited the murder of George Floyd to fraudulently collect $500,000 from 1,000 donors. This is the same shit Tariq does: exploit Black death to make money.
I just want them two chicks to get locked up too for that same dumbass shit, bro.
Deodorant, root
So we
spray.
get some real justice. That Black Lives Matter.
Hey, I'm
Think
just
about that's the most
saying,
dumbest shit ever.
some people believe you are who you hang out with. I ain't gonna go that far, but it is some strange company,
That shit
Tariq
true.
Nasheed. I mean,
That shit's most definitely true. You are who you hang around with.
and the kicker is the whole time Tariq's been defending man on Twitter. Tariq's been talking about, oh no, them some trumped up charges, them some BS charges. Now let's hear you say
White
BS
supremacy charges.
Yes, this nigga took Black Lives Matter money to go buy suits and do fucking Andrew Tate poses and shit. Like, such a clown.
Yo, bro, you know what that nigga remind me of? What was that whack ass movie when the stole the scary movie? I think it was 5 when the aliens came and started choking niggas out and he was peeing out the fingers and shit. That nigga remind me of that shit right there.
And the only thing he's ever acted in is the most weirdest demonic TV show ever, American Horror Story. That's him right
Oh,
there.
that was him.
That was him.
Okay.
If you ever need a random warlock albino, he's your man.
Warlock. Can't spells. It's all Scooby Doo mysteries. Sir Majors is your man.
Come on.
This motherfucker.
He got 36,000 from Facebook fundraising, then another 370,000 from Facebook fundraising. Spent $100,000 on a house in Toledo, bought guns, tailored suits,
root work, Ogun juice.
It's wrong what you are doing. You should not be tricking people this way. Damn.
Hey, yo, Mike, since we doing
Nigga,
some
I
research,
can't breathe.
I bet
Wow.
wearing that mask, nigga.
Wow. They need to. Hey, I've never wished for a man to be diddled, but I hope that prison justice takes its form because this shit is egregious. Okay, this motherfucker is grifting the shit out of George Floyd.
Paying
What
for
is
profit,
wrong?
man. That's the new currency. Paying for profit.
Paying for profit.
They got no type of morals when it comes to this shit.
Damn.
Him and Tariq.
And you know what? I'm
Hey,
also
say that
petty.
again? You said paying for profits?
Hold on.
That sounds like
I'm
what Democrats
so
do right there.
petty. It was this right-wing conservative dude. I saw a video of his earlier today, and I like
me get
listening
that.
to fresh perspectives. So I'm going to add fuel to the fire and leave in this comment.
Not a single
Great video. It's nice hearing fresh perspectives. Here is Tariq's right-hand man, Sir Major. He just got convicted earlier this month and sent to prison for BLM fundraising scams. Basically, that profiting off of pain, like you mentioned in your video. Yeah, you remember New Era? I didn't have this dude as a guest before, and people was giving him a hard time because he had the cop mustache and came off real conservative and right wing. But hey, I let everybody rock
flag
it.
in the back.
Yeah, flag in the back. Yeah. National Alternative is the name of his channel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
no,
subscribed to him. I'll be watching it.
Hey, he dropped this video earlier
Have you watched
today, and I don't watch like 7 minutes of it. It was a banger. He was going into Tariq's grifting and fraud and charlatan ways and shit.
He's speaking some shit sometimes. I'll be watching shit sometimes. I can't watch all this shit, but I'll be watching some
Yeah,
shit.
for sure. Can't watch all this shit, but some shit. Check it out.
All
right, guys.
Like,
This is all I
my
have
mom,
for today.
My mom moved too fast, but shit goes slow. Then I get bored. Then I stop watching.
Nigga, that's called ADHD.
Nigga, no, it's not.
That's called
Motherfucker.
attention deficit disorder, nigga.
No, it's not.
He said I'd be watching and my mind starts racing and I get bored.
No, I said if it's boring. Yeah, nigga, like if I already know the information and then if you like if you don't got no energy, you
I
still
know, I
fucking
feel
like
you. I'm
you a
fucking with
school teacher, bro. It's like,
I'm
nigga, what the
fucking
fuck?
Mm-hmm.
He's in.
All right. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. I got a blunt that's calling my name though. I gotta get out of here. I gotta see if I can find some food around here too. But all right, hey, at least we ain't eating prison sandwiches like that albino nigga. You gonna be the sexiest albino in jail.
We can put some money on his books.
Hey, I was about to ask you.
Sexiest albino alive.
They got that reparation rally outside the prison house.
I was about to ask
I
Mike
wonder if Tariq's even gonna, write him a letter or put some money on his books. They boys, right?
Right. Is the museum still
Maybe.
popping? Does he still have that shit? Like,
He does a comedy show there once in a blue moon. I mean, no, it ain't. It's popping enough to make people not think they scammed him out of $2 million.
Right.
It's just enough to where people can say, "Hey, like on some Umar shit, where's the school?" Right? It's just enough to satiate some folks.
I'm surprised they still ask about that school at this point. Like, just let it go. Don't even ask about it.
Hey, yo, you know what? How Brody crashed out on us for like the past week? Well, 3 days.
Who?
Desmond.
He's dead
Yeah,
to me. I don't even know that name no more. Who's that?
Don't ever bring that name up to me.
Don't ever.
You know that's still a homie, but this shit just made me realize, like, motherfuckers still thinking we don't got no choice. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe or whatever the fuck y'all call that shit. I just want 30,000 people to come together and put $600 in. Then make a fucking hate bill to stop all the shit, so Democrats to stop fucking trying to mind fuck my people, so we nip this shit all in the bud. That's my plan for now. So
Man,
niggas won't be crashing out.
After the elections,
Huh?
they ain't gonna have no words for us after that, nigga. We don't won't even
Yeah,
exist.
that's why I'm on the start a GoFundMe. I just need 30,000 people to put in $600, and we will have a fucking hate bill just like everybody else.
Yeah. And with that said, we out this bitch. Closing remarks. Curtis, go ahead.
Not much, man. About to get up out of here, lay it down. I'll be back on here tomorrow. Y'all be easy.
All right, nigga. Just stick to one bottle of baby oil. 1,000 is excessive.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
One bottle should last you like 4 or 5 months, Playboy.
What about 10? Is that too much?
Nah, that's too much. Even 10 bottles in 1 year. Like, what the fuck you doing?
Fuck.
What the fuck you doing?
Bottle every half week.
I don't want to know. But all right, Curtis, you have fun.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
Make sure to get tested.
All
All right, nigga, peace. Next time we're gonna talk to him, his dick gonna have fall off. He gonna have less bass in his voice. What happened to this nigga's voice? They had to amputate. Messing with them lot lizards. He ain't even a trucker, but he go to the to the parking lot to find a lot lizard. He pull up in a regular ass sedan. They're like, I'm used to fucking in a pickup truck. You ain't got no van. Oh shit. Barry, my Niji. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Peace. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to our new viewers, new subscribers. Everybody hitting the like button, sharing the videos, all that good shit. Desmond, if you're out there, just sober up and apologize, my Niji. It's all good. I can't say we've all been there because I've never crashed out over a fucking political candidate, but some people.
I haven't been there.
Hey, until next time, we will be live tomorrow. Take it easy. Stay vigilant.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British men. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment.